And welcome back to the Letterman here on 90.7 WCLH. We're here on a nice warm Friday here in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Coming to you, of course, to start the show off with some Wilkes sports updates. Then at the 3:30 hour, me and Cody will be talking about UFC 271, Israel Adesanya versus Robert Whittaker, Part 2. And then to close out the show from 4 to 5, we will be doing an NFL hour-long special, including the Hall of Fame finalists, the NFL Awards Honor Show from last night, and, of course, the Super Bowl preview. So to start off, I'm here with Cody Dix and Ariel Reed. How are you guys doing today?
Pretty good. How about you?
Doing fine.
Oh.
Doing just fine?
Just fine today.
Not good? Not anything else? Just
My body is sore. PT's taking a little bit of abuse on the body, so I need a little bit more rest.
No, this morning, so I haven't ran and conditioned or anything like that in forever, and I had to do a 10-minute death sled conditioning drill. Wanted to die.
Yep.
I was 6 minutes in, stomach hurting, ready to yak, but yeah.
Ran my first half mile yesterday in about 8 weeks, and conditioning levels are not there anymore. Not there.
What is this running thing we speak of?
I was say Martel doesn't know what running is.
Well, anyway, to get started, getting right into it, I know the wrestling program had a huge accomplishment a couple weeks ago, and Sunday, on top of it being senior day for your boys, it was also where Coach got his 900th win plaque.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we had John Laudenslager, who's the head coach now, and we had Alan Zellner, who was the head coach previous before him. And 900 wins. I mean, we're the second Division III team to achieve that, and I think the 11th program in NCAA history to reach 900 wins. And it's nice for Wilkes Wrestling to be up there with Iowa, Penn State, Oklahoma State, all those big-name D1, Big Ten programs. It's really nice to see that we were once a part of that upper echelon of great wrestling in NCAA.
Yeah, I was say whenever I first came to Wilkes, my coach was going on about wrestling, and because my brother wrestled in high school, so she knew I had some kind of interest in it, and so she was telling me about our wrestling program and how great and it was. And whenever I first came, I didn't believe it, but taking that photo of them with the 900th plaque,
Yep.
That's when it hit me. I was oh, this is legit. We are kind of a wrestling school.
We so same thing. When I came here on my visit, my senior summer, the biggest thing that they kept telling us was, you're going to be the 4 years that we're going to reach our 900th win, 900th win, 900th win. And to think about that 4 years ago today, and now it being true now is crazy. You know what I mean? The program, it just shows the dedication that the wrestlers have had, the dedication through coaching that we've had, and how hard we work as a team to achieve that milestone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's impressive. I don't think any other team is near it.
No.
Yeah, especially with the way our programs before. I think 4 years ago is when they brought in a whole slew of new coaches. Mm-hmm. I think that's really when they really started turning the programs around like that. But yeah, it's just impressive to be a standout program like that, 900. That's ginormous. Like
I said, second program in Division III behind, I think, Springfield College, and I think they're right around 904, 905 wins. They just got it too. Mm-hmm. So Division III wrestling, I mean, there's going to be a lot more programs, and I'm not just saying that Springfield and Wilkes are a part of that upper echelon. You still have Messiah, York College, a bunch of the guys in the Midwest. I'm trying to think of the one program. Roanoke College, I think they were right around 700, 800 wins. They're a really good program. I think they're a drop-down team from Division II back to Division III. Mm-hmm. So you see a lot of different schools coming in with over 500, 600 wins.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all I have about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good history, and I love walking through the weight room, or I know your coach is always at the football games, and I always like talking to him. He's a good guy to talk to. Or just walking through the halls, just seeing the history of the wrestling program. I mean, it's a really impressive accomplishment, and it's a cool thing that while we're here, that happened.
Yeah,
and we were able to witness that.
There's a lot of history in that room, and it's nice to look back at all the plaques and stuff like that, and see how many national qualifiers, how many All-Americans we had in certain teams, how many MAC championships we have as a team, national team titles as a team. It's insane to witness
I think
that.
that's like what half the banners are even in our gym. And
Yep.
I know like I think wasn't it originally like a Division 1 program? Like
Yeah.
1979 I want to say we were Division 1.
Back in the 70s and 80s, we were a NAIA team. We were mixed in with Cornell, Harvard, all those Ivy League schools. And then I don't know exactly what transferred or what happened, but we got moved back down to Division III. And I really don't think there's been a major difference between us as a D1 program and a Division III program. We've always been successful. I've only been here 1 year where we had a 500 or maybe a below 500 season. My
Yeah.
freshman year, we were 22-3, I think. I think we fit right that top 20 national team ranking. We lost a lot of seniors. We came back our sophomore year. That was our down year. We had the COVID year last year. We finished 1-1, but we versed number, I think, 20 Stevens, and we lost by one match.
I think they were number 9. at
Number
the time.
9. Even
Yeah.
better. You know what I mean? We lost by one match.
Yeah.
One match.
I remember that match actually. I think that was the one match we covered in the Beacon. And I remember it came down to Mustafa's match, and Mustafa I think only lost by like 2 points.
One
like,
takedown at the end of the match.
Yeah. That was crazy to watch. I still remember that match. Like that was insane. Like I'm not that big of a wrestling person. Like I know if you spin your hands together and throw 2 in the air, that's a reversal and it's 2 points. So like being able like to sit and watch that and be like that involved, that into it, like that's just even impressive in and of itself.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, going to Sunday's match now though. Senior day, probably a big day for all your seniors, and I mean, came out on top 37-10.
Oh my god, weren't there like 6 pins too? Like that was insane.
We had 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 5. Sorry, 5.
I think one was close, but like right at the end they like called it. Yeah. Who was it? It was like someone in like it might have been the heavyweight kid. I think he was pretty close too.
Yeah. That's when he got that. Yep, I know what you're talking about. He got that
Yeah.
reversal and then 2 backs, and then the kid went right back to his stomach. Yep.
Yeah, because he almost had that kid pinned, but then the ref, like the time ran out or time expired or something like that. But no, that match in and of itself was impressive too.
Yeah, there was a couple of key bouts in there. We had 157 Liam Flathery against I don't know how to say his last name, but Daniel from Scranton. It was literally like almost a fist fight. I mean, within the first 30 seconds, we had blood time and people were getting wrapped up in their face already. I think between that match, we had the limit you get for blood time is 5 minutes. We were like right around 4.5 minutes.
I think Liam had the other kid's blood on his face.
Yeah.
Because I like took a picture of him close up, and I like looked closely later, and I was like, oh my god, this kid bled on him, and he still wrestled and still won. Like,
But it was a back and forth match. I mean, second period, I think we saw about 4 points each way in reversals, and then in the third period, Liam chose bottom and kind of hit him with a little cheap roll right to his back and stuck him, and looks up to the crowd, throws his arms up, and we kind of follow the hype train for the rest of the match. I mean, we lost one right after at 165, but after that, we kind of strung together 3 straight wins with Babcock at 184, catching a fall. True freshman Cameron Bucka with a major decision at 197, and then sophomore Nevin Roush with a 5-1 win at heavyweight. Wilkes Wrestling really kind of took this towards Scranton on last Sunday.
yeah, I would agree with that. Even like right from the start, I think Fashauer was your starting weight, right?
Yeah.
Even his match, like I think it was like, I don't know, not even
2
a minute
minutes.
and pinned. Like I think that set the tone for the entire thing.
So speaking about Fashauer and Babcock, those are the 2 guys that we have on our team that are nationally ranked. Babcock coming in at number 11 for 184, and Fashauer coming in at number 9 for 125 pounds.
Yeah.
And those guys are going to make some real noise at the regional tournament and national tournament. We have Babcock wrestling tonight against, I think he's the number 6 guy for Ithaca. That's going to be a key matchup. We have Fashauer coming up against the number 11 guy from Ithaca. That's going to be a tight bout. 133, we have Jack Bauer, who's not in any of the rankings for D3, but we have him coming up against, I think the kid's name is Luis Hernandez. He's one of the contenders for 133 for the Bombers. Tonight's going to be a really good match. We're versing number 26th Ithaca. And we've always wrestled them towards the end of the year because it prepares Wilkes Wrestling for that regional tournament, winning those quarterfinal, semifinal, and even those final bouts at the regional tournament. It sets us up for the national tournament. You got every guy in the national tournament. It's going to be a close match. There's no such thing as an easy match.
Yeah. And what's even more impressive to me, I'm jumping back to Fashauer here. He's a true freshman, right?
Correct.
He's a true freshman ranked number 9 in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let this sink in for a second. Number 9 as a true freshman. This kid has nowhere to go but up. Like, he's going to easily be probably within the next 4 years of his career the number 1 seed, or number 1 rank, sorry, not seed, and he'll come home with a national championship. I'm calling it now. Fast Hour is going to get a national championship.
I like the energy Ariel throwing over here. I got to agree with that.
I like what I've seen out of him, too. Like, as I said, I don't know much about wrestling. But, like, watching him how he does, like, his motions and his moves, he's so quick and just seems to have a good, I don't want to say court sense, but, like, mat sense.
Yes.
Is that a word, mat sense?
Yep.
He's got a good mat sense about him. He just knows, like, how to anticipate and how to, like, break it up, avoid it, like, and flip the kid. It's just, I love watching him.
Fast Shower, he had, in the finals of the King tournament this year, he wrestled which is now the number 2 kid in the country, and lost in the first overtime with a 4-2 loss. The kid is from Averett. I know he's a lot older. He's not a traditional fourth-year college student. I think he's 26 years old, right around there, 25, 26 years old. And you saw Fast Shower, who's 18 years old, almost a 10-year difference, and lost by a takedown in sudden victory.
Yeah.
Fast Shower, even though his ranking puts him at number 9, I can consistently say that this kid's going to be the trailblazer at the national tournament and come home with a national championship as a true freshman.
Yeah. No, I could see that too.
And the last time we saw that at Wilkes Wrestling was he was our assistant coach 2 years ago with Matt Grossman, who came in here. He was a Hershey boy. The national tournament was in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and he comes home with a national title as a true freshman at 133.
Yeah.
So possible repeat with that with Austin Fast Shower. I totally think that can happen. This kid's energy consistently just gets better every match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like you said, they have that match this Friday. I know King's match is next Thursday.
Yep.
So
let's bring that home for Wilkes-Barre. You know what I mean? Keep that title in Wilkes-Barre.
I'm going to be excited.
Yeah.
I'm going to that one, 100%. Especially after all the
tweets. Jeff Narm coming at you. My coach said I'm not allowed to tweet until Tuesday after our game.
I'm not going to say anything regarding the tweets, but for anyone listening, the head coach of Kings sent out a
Go check it out. It's
a good tweet. No, he deleted the tweet.
He deleted it?
Deleted the tweet.
As he should, though. That was kind of mean. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I have a screenshot of it, though, so we'll repost it somewhere.
Yeah, we'll repost it
I'll put it in the beacon.
Hey, it's in the archives. Let's just say that.
A little bit of Twitter beef.
Yeah. Some other Wilkes sports that happened this past week. We had, women's basketball this past Wednesday had a fantastic match against Lycoming. We came out with a victory 55-48.
Yeah, that was impressive just because I think last time we played Lycoming, we had got hit with the COVID bug. So we had, I think, 6 players in the game, 5 of them being freshmen, and 6 or 7 people on the bench that were like coming out of COVID protocol. So our first game really wasn't like a true reflection of how we actually like played, because I think we were matched up with them in half. But like when you have 6 girls going against a team that's like 30 deep, I want to say, like you're gonna get gassed. So I think we just got gassed in the first matchup, and that's what kind of dropped for us. But I mean, I think this matchup, what was really impressive to see was the fact that Jules Askins, a freshman coming out of Carlisle, PA, like she's really been like a kind of step up person. Like when we needed her to step up, she steps up, and just her being able to explode and score for us. I mean, Julia Marino too. She's been probably our best player all year round. Always keeping up with the pace, pushing our tempo, like always finding the people that she needs to find. She also had a very impressive game. I think she had 10 points, I want to say. So, I mean, I think seeing the play out of those two for that game, that's really what carried us to that win. And they play like a little chippy, which I mean, everybody loves it when somebody plays a little chippy too.
Listen, I love 80s and 90s basketball. So when people start playing chippy, that's basketball to me. Not the stuff that's aired on TV today.
I would agree with that.
The guy like slaps him on the wrist, and that's a technical foul nowadays. Like it's unbelievable. So
yeah, no, I agree. I just love watching those two play. I mean, I've also been watching all season, so yeah. Another
game that happened Wednesday. The men's basketball team took a tough defeat to Lycoming, 70-56. I know you were also in attendance for that one.
Yeah, that one. I don't know what's happening with the men's team, because you see, this is what doesn't make sense to me. So they have Trent Fisher, which is arguably the all-around best player in the MAC conference right now. I mean, he's leading in scoring. He's number 5 and up in just about every other statistical category. You got Drake Marshall, who I think is like 3 or 4 in scoring for the MAC right now. Matt David Eiser's really been popping off. I love his swagger when he plays. Like, that's just my favorite thing. But like, this team doesn't seem to be able to finish games. Like, they're right there at halftime. Like, scores tied. Like, Nickerson Delmefi hits that 3 right at the end. It's like 32-32 kind of thing. And then they, like, lose it in the home stretch. And I just don't understand what they're doing wrong. Because, like, I've been, like, watching for a while, and I'm sure you guys have watched every once in a while. Like, they play really well together. They just can't seem to finish out games. And that's just, it's frustrating for me as a basketball player just to sit there and watch it. But, like, I'm sure they're even more frustrated as players as well.
Yeah, I mean, looking at their record, 7-14, not the season they were looking for. I know that for a fact. 4-9 in conference play, too. That's, I know, Izzy is probably not.
Oh, Izzy. I hear about Izzy every day.
So, I mean, they can still turn around. I know the MAC championships are coming up in a couple weeks for both women's and men's basketball.
Yeah, because of COVID, they're letting all the teams in because, like, certain teams had to forfeit because of players. So out of fairness and equality, I think they're letting all players or all teams in. So it's pretty much anyone's ball game whenever playoffs come around.
I mean, if a team can get hot, even with a record like 7-14, if a team can get hot, I mean, it's not publicized on TBS or CBS, but this is still March Madness. So
pretty much, yeah. And I mean, like, even like if you look at their losses too, I think they only ever lose by like 6-7 points.
Yeah.
So it's always the difference of like 2 or 3 possessions, and like could have been in their favor. So I'm excited to see how this team's really going to play. I mean, I think playing Kings next week and Del Val this week will be a good prep kind of to go into the playoffs, especially because I know the women's team is. I think if we win Saturday, we play Kings for playoffs. But, like, if we lose, I think we'd have to go to Stevens or something. That's, like, how it's, like, working out right now. Yeah. But, I mean...
Well, because I know you guys also travel to... Was it Del Val? Yeah.
Yeah. Men's and women's doubleheader.
Yeah. So, both two tough matchups. I know Del Val, speaking from football, do they have wrestling?
They have a wrestling team, but I would say... they're more known for football and other sports.
So they're only known for football.
Yeah,
their basketball record is 2-14.
Oh, did not know that.
Yeah, so it should be. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be an easy win, but like should be. It should be a win that we attain.
I will definitely be watching that because I don't like Del Val.
I don't think anybody up here likes Del Val, if I'm being honest.
Well, yeah, football doesn't help, but
yeah, I would agree with that.
But yeah, I mean, hopefully both teams come out with the win, and you get to face Kings in the playoffs instead of Stevens, because I know Stevens.
That would be.
Stevens a little bit tougher matchup, and Kings, I feel like.
Especially we'd have to travel back to there, because we go to Stevens is our last regular season match on the 19th, so we'd have to like travel back up there on a Wednesday night, and I don't know about y'all, but I hate the drive to Hoboken. It's gorgeous when you step off the bus,
but it's not a fun drive.
But yeah, sitting in that bus for like 3 hours straight. Terrible.
You know what's funny? We're making because we're doing a live broadcast for like spring sports, and I'm going through the baseball schedule, and I was like, Stevens, where's that? And Jason was like, yeah, no, it's right in Hoboken. You see the New York skyline where the baseball field is.
Yeah.
I go, oh, okay, yeah. I put it down on the schedule.
Will travel.
Yes. I will 100% go to that game, and I already told the baseball boys, hey, be ready for April 16th. I will be there calling that game.
The day before Easter Sunday?
Yeah. It'll be a great weekend for baseball and everyone else that's involved there. I was going to say moving forward for Wilkes, but we already mentioned it. But there is hockey going on tonight and tomorrow for both women's and men's. Of course, the women are in at Utica College tonight. Their game actually started... Let's see, it's 3:20. Their game started at 2:30, so we could give a live update for that. And then the men, they start at Nazareth College at 4 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the men's team this year, they've been so impressive. Like, they just play they play very fast, which I think is much to their benefit, because I feel like a lot of the players in, like, the MAC conference and even UCHC aren't that fast. So I think that's really, like, one of the benefits we have to our team. But we're also, I think, number 8, I want to say, is last I checked, number 8 in the nation right now for hockey, which I think is just something we should always mention. I mean, anytime anyone's nationally ranked for our school. But I know the men's team, they have a tough game coming up on Saturday as they play number 2 Utica. And if I remember correctly, I think Utica was the team that booted them out of the UCHC playoffs.
I don't want to say it was.
ago?
I was gonna say 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Our first year here, that was like the huge rivalry. I know they got us down here the first game,
And then we got them up there.
We traveled up to Utica, beat them to. I forgot whether it was like to get in or like get a higher. Or no,
I think we beat them to get in.
Yeah, or what? I think we were already ranked because our hockey program.
It's only 4 years old.
Yeah, it's only 4 years old, and that was the last 3 years has been really good for them. And I mean, they're continuing on it this year.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, Utica. I mean, they're always going to be a tough matchup. I think, especially for the hockey team and hockey boys, that's their number one rival.
Oh, this is their biggest rivalry of the year.
This is their Del Val.
Maybe not Del Val for football. This is more like their Kings, like actual Kings, because the current Kings ice hockey team is not the greatest.
Yeah, but I mean, going to Nazareth College too. I mean, it's no tough task to go on the road, especially in Upper New York. I know upstate New York, those boys love their hockey.
Yeah.
Visiting some of the schools back when I was like a senior in high school, they always talked about, the hockey games get crazy up here. So
yeah,
I know. Yeah, they're going to be committed, and Nazareth, no small task.
Yeah, I would say Nazareth always has a competitive team. I wouldn't say they're always like our number one competitors or anything of that nature, but definitely a competitive team. I think we've dropped 1 or 2 to them throughout the years, but I think it's a nice warm up kind of to get ready for Utica on Saturday.
So the update for women's ice hockey right now, it's 3-0 Utica.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, so here's the thing too. I mean, it's easier to recruit men's ice hockey if I'm being honest, because there's probably more men who want to play ice hockey in college than women, and I think our ice hockey program too is also like 2, 3, maybe even 4 years old. So they're playing with a lot of underclassmen. I mean, I think this year was like they have a couple wins, like 2 or 3, I want to say.
Yeah, they're 3-14.
Yeah, which is impressive for a young team like that. Like I mean, if you're playing a team that's like, if like at least half your team's freshmen, like in 4 years you'll be good, but like right now is like that hard part kind of thing.
I mean, it is an upgrade from last year, because I know last year during the COVID year they went, I want to say either 0-10 or 0-12.
Yeah,
so,
and I think the year previous
they went 1-19.
Yeah.
So they got 3 wins. So I mean the
transition's there, the building's there. One thing that really hurts them is I think easily their best defense or a defensive man is Abby Barkless, and I know she's been out for a little while recently just because she did something to her knee during a game or a practice or something like that.
Yeah, so I mean they're missing their best defensive men. I mean, I don't think that. I mean, looking at the stats, 28 shots compared to 5. It just looks like the offense just can't get anything going right now.
Yeah, their offense really has a hard time. I don't want to say like scoring necessarily, but just like getting breakaways and like getting open, that kind of thing. I mean, I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. Allie Jolly, I think she's in goal tonight. An impressive goalie. Like I think they were rattling off her stats on senior night, and I think she had like over 1,000 saves. Now I also don't know hockey, so I don't know if that's a high or low number, but like I thought that was impressive.
I have to, because I've been a little invested in the hockey programs. I've always looked and checked. When you're getting shot, or when there's 50 shots being at you consistently every night, I think, you're going to have 100,000 saves. Not saying like it's still not impressive, because it is, but 50 to 60 shots sometimes.
Yeah, no, if you run the numbers, like it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like if you see that like we only take like 4 shots, like obviously like the other team's going to take like 50 or something like that. But
I remember a game from last year that I was watching, and the offense literally did not have a shot until the middle of the second period. And it was 4-0. I don't know who it was. I don't remember who it was, but it was just like, it was just a tough one.
Yeah. I feel like that's how a lot of their matches are too. I mean, in most like recent times, like I think they've been closer scoring for the most part. Like it's been like 2-4, 2-5. I mean,
we saw the Kings game a couple weeks ago.
The Kings ice hockey game?
Yeah. It was Kings Wilkes.
I don't think I was at that game.
2 weeks ago.
Oh wait, yeah, I was.
Yeah, you were there.
I think I was taking photos. Now that I'm really thinking about it.
I was working the penalty box.
Oh, no, I wasn't taking photos then. I was doing the book.
That was a fun experience, by the way. If anyone has a chance to like work any type of sports game, please go do a hockey game at a penalty box because it was so funny.
To sit in the sin bin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my favorite thing is whenever they start like yelling at each other. Like they have to like step up over the like plexiglass to like yell at their coach, and their coach yells back at them. It's just interesting to me.
I will say one of the Wilkes players, she was in the penalty box, and I remember her yelling at the coach, and he just couldn't hear her.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on, but she yelled at him for 30 seconds, walked out of the penalty box, continuing to yell at him, got to the bench, continuing to yell at him. Finally, he turns when she's right next to him. She's like, "What's up?" Like, oh, okay.
I think it was Addie Olson, if I remember that correctly, because I think I heard it, and I was like trying to like listen in to like transcribe the lingo that she was like throwing, but I like couldn't get it.
Yeah, no, she literally just kept shouting, "Earl, Earl."
Earl.
It's a fun experience though, and I mean any college games, any sports games are good experiences. So, you know,
Whether you're working or not, they're just fun to watch too.
yeah. I mean, cheer on Wilkes Sports, you know.
Yeah.
But I know with all the COVID protocols, it's a little bit tougher.
Not really. You just have to sit and wear a mask.
Well, I was gonna say the last couple of years.
Oh, last couple of years, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know for basketball and wrestling, even like we weren't allowed to have fans, and then the spring sports they opened up, and yeah, it's been nice recently to have some of the regulations lifted, but you know,
Yeah, hopefully next year it's full. We can get 100% capacity. We'll make sure the fans are there.
bring the fans.
100%. We're going to take a short little break. When we come back, Cody and I will be talking UFC 271, Israel Adesanya versus Robert Whittaker, Part 2. I know you're excited to talk about it.
Listen, I can't. The goosebumps on my arms. I'm just too excited for this fight.
I was watching the like I don't want to say like the intro, but like kind of like the teaser for that fight on ESPN this morning. Oh my god, I'm not a like a UFC fan in any means, but that got me excited watching that intro.
Yes,
Israel,
I love it.
Israel is one of my favorite guys to watch. So this is awesome.
Bring more
paired
fans.
with the Super Bowl, this is going to be a great weekend.
It's the best weekend. Sidney Crosby too almost is about to hit 500 goals.
We don't care about Crosby.
He's at 499.
I'm kidding. I know Pittsburgh over there.
Big Pittsburgh kid.
Keep in mind, this is 90.7 WCLH. You listen to the Letterman. Welcome back to the Letterman here on 90.7 WCLH. Cody.
Martel.
Whoa.
Martel, I'm sorry. I'm so hype. I can't control myself.
Do you want to take this seat then?
No. You don't want me controlling anything
You
right
don't
now.
want to look at all the buttons here?
No. Dude, we are finally here.
I think I've been honestly talking about this fight since it was announced. What was it, like October?
Yeah. We're finally here. Israel Adesanya is finally fighting again.
I love Adesanya.
I can't get off of how good he is on his feet with body awareness and how he can move his body, dude. It's crazy how good he is from distance. And the best thing that I'm starting to notice with Israel Adesanya is even though he's not landing as many significant strikes per round, he's just completely dominating the distance and completely dominating patience. You know what I mean? He makes fighters come to him. back when he was getting into the UFC, he was pushing towards people. He was trying to get towards that knockout. Now he's the champion. You have to start coming to him. You have to take that belt off of him. You need to hit him. That's where he comes in with the counter striking and just making you look stupid in the ring. It's crazy.
I love Izzy. I know you had like a in-depth explanation there. I'll just go, yeah, I love Izzy.
And as a wrestler, I mean, we were just talking about wrestling in Wilkes Sports when we were talking about Austin Fashauer, right, and how he is so good on his feet. He's a very fast kid, in and out with his fakes. Israel Adesanya brings a wrestling style to the octagon, and it's really hard as a wrestler to understand how you can do that in MMA, but controlling distance. I mean, we see basically a 7-inch reach in arm length between Israel Adesanya and Bobby Knuckles.
Whoa. Calm it down there. That's my rule.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So we got to talk about Robert Whittaker a little bit too. I mean, he's 24-5. He's an impressive fighter himself. Of course, I keep mentioning this is part 2. They haven't fought since 2018. I mean, this is incredible.
The key things for Bobby Knuckles is you need to bring back that spring of karate fighting. You know what I mean? Bouncing on your toes in and out, bouncing on your toes in and out, and making Izzy kind of have to walk towards you a little bit, kind of understand that you're going to hold center and you're not going to press him the whole time. Yeah. Israel Adesanya, like I just brought up a couple minutes ago, he's patient, right? He doesn't need to go knock you out in the first round and spark up Dana White to where he can fight somebody else in the UFC. He is the champ, right? He doesn't need to do anything else besides use his mouth in the press conferences, build up, hype the fights for pay-per-view buys, and let his hands and feet do the talking in the ring. He doesn't need to press the issue. He can sit back and wait. He's okay with winning a 5-round fight in a decision. That's not entertaining. He's the champ. You know what I mean? He doesn't need to do what he did 4 or 5 years ago.
And that's what people knock on his game, which I just hate when people do that. Oh, well, he's not an entertaining fighter. When did people say, like, fighting, like, at its core, when is fighting supposed to be entertaining? Like, if you really think about it, it's just two guys beating each other up, and then one goes, yeah, I won.
Exactly.
So, and he's the champ now. He doesn't need to, get the flashy highlights anymore. Why does he need to go out there and just use all this energy when he knows that he has the style, he has the length? I mean, right here, just looking at it, he's 6'4", 4 inches taller than Robert Whittaker. Of course, middleweight. 80-inch arm reach. 80 inches. We're talking about, like, NFL prospect type stuff. NBA prospects, where, like, the width is just incredibly long. The wingspan, incredible long. Robert Whittaker's 73.5 inches. That's no slouch either. But
no.
Compared to Israel Adesanya, he's just bigger than everybody and faster than everybody. Why does he need to do all these flashy stuff?
When you look at everybody else in the division, right, take Izzy out of the equation. Look at everybody else in the division. They are all right around, 5'10" to 6'2". They're all built like Robert Whittaker. They're average height, average arm length, average leg length. Izzy is the complete opposite.
He's an anomaly.
He's extremely tall for the weight. At 185 pounds, you don't see many guys that are walking over 6'2". You don't. You just don't see it. You don't see any guys in the division with more than a 75-inch reach for arms. He's 5 over that limit. His build is the reason why he's so good. His style of fighting is the reason why he's so good. Nobody really understands or even talks about his kickboxing record. The guy had over 100 fights, and he had over 100 wins in kickboxing. You know what I mean? This guy is lethal with his feet. It's crazy. His feet are basically his hands. It's basically fighting two people. You know what I mean? When there's distance, you got to watch out for spinning kicks to the stomach or spinning back kicks to the head. You got to watch these crazy karate side kicks that Israel can produce at such a fast speed. You know what I mean? His hands, It's arguably for me, his feet are faster than his hands, and that should not be the truth.
And just like you said, his feet or his hands, and he's definitely taken a shift in this new UFC era, where, yeah, we have hands. Yes, we wrestle. Now we use our feet. You gotta protect your legs, because we've seen people get broken legs protecting leg kicks or delivering a leg kick and then their leg just being snapped.
Yep.
We've seen that plenty of times over the last 2 years, and I don't think it's because they're not big and strong enough. It's just they've never done it at such force. Where, like, yeah, you're in sparring, you do it, but like,
you have knee pads, shin pads, you know what I mean? There's stuff to protect. But once you get that bone-on-bone damage, it's some people, their bodies just can't take it. And a perfect example is Chris Weidman when he fought.
it was last May.
I know it was last May. Oh, my God, I'm sorry, fans. I'm so sorry.
How dare you?
I'm so sorry. Oh, my God, Uriah Hall.
Yes,
That's who it was.
Hall.
Because that was the same fight that was the same card that Rose Namajunas knocked out Whaley with that absolutely incredible head kick. But that's another topic. You see a lot of guys like Chris Weidman threw a very, very hard leg kick, and all Uriah Hall did was plant his foot on the ground and just not lift his knee, but push his knee a little bit forward to check that kick, and we saw Chris Weidman's leg snap in complete half. And it's the same situation years back when Chris Weidman fought Anderson Silva, and we saw the same situation with Anderson Silva throwing a leg kick, Chris Weidman checking it, and next thing you know, we see Anderson Silva on the ground holding his leg, and it's like a rubber band.
It was the same leg, and it was the same kick. And everyone was like, oh, well, Twitter,
deja vu.
Yeah, Twitter was going crazy with, this is what you get for Anderson Silva and blah, blah, blah. You know, that was just one of many comments that people gave. But
reverting that back to Izzy, though, like when you have a guy who can produce such speed and power and kicks, and the other thing, Izzy could be whatever stance, you know what I mean? And in a snap, you're getting hit.
Such an unorthodox stance too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not many fighters that we talk about in here that I revel about, but I mean, Izzy. I mean, I know me and you both love Sean O'Malley. He's the same way, just in different weight classes. Where
he's an entertaining fighter.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He doesn't hold back. And the other thing is when you watch. Pay real close attention. I mean, for the fans, if you guys want to look back and look at a couple other fights, look at the Paulo Costa fight with Israel Adesanya, and then look at the Marvin Vettori rematch fight. Look at the way Izzy looks at his opponents. Right, he's not looking you in your eyes. He's looking at what your little habits are with your hands. You know what I mean? Some guys, they'll move their hands once or twice, and then they'll put it back into the first stance that they had it in the beginning. Some guys, and for Robert Whittaker, he's a karate stance. So he'll bounce in and out between his front and his back foot, and then he'll spring off that back foot to give you that right hand. Izzy is timing those little habits, right? So when you're on your back foot and there's no weight on your front foot, he's going to kick the heck out of that front foot and not possibly, but bruise that leg up to where you have to switch your stance. You know what I mean? He picks up those little things, and that's why he's such a great fighter. He picks up little things that these other fighters just don't pick up.
I mean, he's 21-1 for a reason, and his one loss, believe it or not, was 2 matches ago against Jan Blachowicz.
At 205. And you know what I mean? We see that loss coming with Israel Adesanya getting bored at his own weight and trying to go find better competition, go find a better challenge. And I'm not saying Jan Blachowicz is a better fighter than Robert Whittaker and all these other guys in the division, but I'm saying it's a bigger task.
He had to move up 20 pounds, and then he had to fight a guy who's just meant to be bigger than him.
Yeah, you got a guy in Jan Blachowicz who has, it's his famous thing ever since he knocked out Reyes, but Polish power. You know what I mean? He's got that one-punch power. Jan Blachowicz he can kick you 2 or 3 times like we saw in the Reyes fight, and Reyes had literally black, like I've seen bruising before. I've never seen black and blue on somebody's rib cages after 2 or 3 kicks, which is completely mind-blowing. And Israel Adesanya, I mean, he had an interview with Brett Okamoto out in Texas a couple of days ago, and they were talking about that loss with Jan Blachowicz, and he said, yeah, the guy beat me. Like, I'll accept that loss, but there's no point in that fight where he felt in danger. You know what I mean? There's no point where he felt like he got rocked. It was just the takedowns and the ground control is why he lost that fight. He told me. He told Brett in the interview that Jan Blachowicz was in a lot of danger on his feet. You know what I mean? He got rocked 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
Which he did. If you want to go watch that fight, viewers, please go do yourself a favor and watch that.
Yeah.
Because that was an incredible fight.
And
It went all 5 rounds.
It did go all 5 rounds. And the thing with Izzy about that fight is, oh, Jan Blachowicz exposed me. Oh, Jan Blachowicz really picked out how to beat Israel Adesanya.
Picked him out at light heavyweight.
Yeah.
Not middleweight.
Picked him out at a weight where somebody is, and you said 20 pounds. I guarantee you Jan Blachowicz was probably 30-plus pounds heavier than him. You're talking about him weighing in at 205. You're not talking about the weight cut that he went through. You know what I mean? The rehydration and the replenishing food that he put in his body. Jan Blachowicz was guaranteed walking into that fight 210, 215 plus. Israel Adesanya didn't cut any weight, and I think he walked into that fight weighing like 88, under 190. You know what I mean? The guy didn't cut not 1 pound. And he walks into that fight, and that's him on a full stomach. You're not seeing Israel Adesanya, let's just say, weigh in at 190, and he's walking into that fight at 205. No, he's not. He's walking into that fight under 200 pounds. He's not a big guy. He's long. He's lanky. He's skinny. There's no real fat on his body that he has to lose. And
he didn't take that much time training for that fight either.
No, that was a short notice fight for him too, because he wanted to stay active. You know what I mean? He wanted to try to fight 2, 3, 4 times in 1 year. But as a champion, it's hard in the UFC because you can't just pick a random guy in the division who's number 9 and go fight him for the belt. It doesn't work like that. As the champion, you're going to have time periods where you need to sit and rest and wait for the division to catch up to you. And that's kind of where we're at right now. Israel Adesanya is on his second rotation or his second lap around the division. You know what I mean? Yeah. This is now the second time he's fighting Rob Whittaker. He's fought
Vettori twice.
If Brunson wins his fight against Cannonier, that'll be the second time they'll fight.
If they fight.
But you know what I mean? He's lapping the division. Everybody that he's going to fight next besides Sean Strickland is a rematch.
And another question that has been popping up in the UFC community that I've been hearing is, can Adesanya, if he just keeps going with his dominance, become one of the best fighters to ever fight? Not just UFC history, but MMA history.
So, in my personal opinion, I love Anderson Silva, but at 32 years old, 21-1, and his only loss coming at a weight above, and he really didn't even lose that fight, just lost off of ground control. I put Israel at that upper echelon for greatest fighters of all time. You know what I mean? I know he's young. I know he's been in the UFC only a couple of years, but look at what this guy's done in the 4 years that he's been, the 4 major years of impact that he's done on this company.
The last 4 years.
It's insane what he's done to the company. And I personally think that if he beats Rob Whittaker, right, and he goes out, and I'm just making assumptions, goes out, beats Derek Brunson in his next fight after that, I personally think that he's going to have to move up to 205 and try to capture that title. I mean, we see at 205, we got Glover Teixeira, who is, he's 42, 43 years old. To be a champion in this day and age, with this day and age of fighters, the competition level is absolutely insane. And I think Israel has the utmost respect for Glover, but I think that fight is just, it's horrible for him because of the age difference and speed difference, technique difference. I just think Israel's on a whole nother level. I think that he can win that. And to become double champ.
And he's going to take a lot more time to get ready. He'll take a lot more time to go up in weight. He's not going to fight at 190. He'll make sure of that next time. He'll make sure he fights at least 200. And that's a scary thought. Because you're not cutting weight at that point. You're gaining weight.
Exactly.
He's like, yeah, okay, this is the first time in my fighting career where I don't have to cut the last 3 weeks or 4 weeks or however long it is. I actually have to force feed myself.
The one thing that I like about Izzy, even though, I mean, he really doesn't even cut that much weight to get to 185. I mean, I think he said he walks around naturally like at 200, maybe 195. So it's like a 10-pound cut, 15-pound cut. It's not much. he is all about getting better at practice. I mean, we all see everybody. I mean, it was at Wilkes for a certain amount of time that we were preaching, be the 1%, be the change. That's what he preaches as well. He's always about getting 1% better at practice. He's always trying to ask different questions. And, oh, will this work if I grab an ankle and roll this way? Or if I grab an arm and roll this way, will this work? He's always trying to find things to get better at. Whether he fails it 100 times at practice and completes it one time, that one complete, he's confident enough to go try that in a fight. He's confident enough to go into a fight and try different things because his skill level is such at a high level that if he does get rocked or if he does make a mistake, he can go back to his basics and start ripping people apart again.
100%. And looking at the stats here, though, it's just interesting to see how he has no submission victories.
No, and the Jan Blachowicz fight, like I just said, how people said, oh, he got exposed with the wrestling, whatever.
Again, he was getting out wrestled by a guy who's 25 pounds more than him.
Yeah.
20 to 25 pounds.
But we see everybody saying, oh, if you get Izzy to the ground, it's over, right? You can beat him. We saw in the Marvin Vettori fight in his last fight how Marvin tried getting him to the ground and Izzy just completely destroyed his wrestling. Like Marvin, it was like he was a beginner wrestler. In this fight, Izzy was talking about, oh, if I get taken down, don't be surprised if I hit some sort of submission from the ground. Dude, if that happens, and betting odds, people that do bet and stuff like that, I can guarantee you if you bet on a submission from Israel Adesanya in any round, you're winning a lot of money. Like that is it's not normal.
Even if you just win outright submission, like any round.
Yeah.
That's still a good chunk of change.
But we're seeing like I keep bringing this up, the confidence in his ability, the confidence in his skills. He's trying to adapt his fighting style every fight.
I do want to point out for both fighters here, their average fight time is about 14 minutes. For Robert Whittaker, it's 13 minutes, 46 seconds. And then, for Izzy, it's 16 minutes, 55 seconds. So the fact that his average fight time is going into championship rounds, I mean, that says it all. He's going to take his time. And he's really just going to break down the opponent. And by the time the fourth and fifth round comes around, they're going to be out of it. Because he's been doing this since 2019.
Correct.
He's been fighting in all these championship bouts and all that since 2019. So he's used to fighting for this long. All these guys he's facing, other than if they had main events, which I know Whittaker had a main event a couple months ago, they're not used to fighting 5 rounds.
No. And I think the only fighter that is, and I just now noticed this because we did talk about it on the show on Wednesday about how Derek Brunson is like a vet in the UFC. I didn't realize that he's been in the UFC for as long as he's been in it. I'm talking like 10 years.
Really?
Yeah, like he's a big-time vet. And he had a pre-fight conference meeting, and a question brought up was, Derek, you've been in the UFC for how many years now? How many fights do you have left? And he said, if everything works out the right way and there's a possibility that I win this fight, my next fight should be against the champ. He said that he's got 2 or 3 more fights until he retires. Obviously, money and stuff like that can change that. I mean, money always changes people's mind.
Yeah.
But in his mind right now, he's got 2 or 3 fights left in his career, and I personally want to see a rematch between him and Israel Adesanya. I just want to see where stuff has went from 2018 and how it's translated.
Their fight wasn't 2018. It was back in early 2017.
But you know what I mean? Yeah. I just want to see how the evolution of Israel Adesanya's came, how the evolution of Derek Brunson's came, the evolution of Robert Whittaker. See these guys take these losses against Izzy and how they've bounced back in their career. I mean, look at Derek Brunson. He took that loss and won 5 straight. Look at this fight with Robert Whittaker. He lost that and he's won 2 straight. And both of these guys off of that loss with Izzy have been their best performances in their whole career. Guys get better after they lose against Izzy because they understand the level difference and how much better they have to get. I'm really interested in this fight because Robert Whittaker says throughout all media week, I feel great. I feel more open in my body. I feel like I don't have any pressure on my shoulders besides to prove to myself that I've gotten better from that fight. He's not even talking about winning or losing the fight. He just wants to see what the skill gap has gotten to and how much he's closed that.
100%. And do you think Whittaker tries to take this to the ground?
My first reaction is yes, but my heart tells me that. Would you point at?
Israel Adesanya's takedown defense, 80%. So 4 out of 5 times, he's going to defend the takedown attempt.
So this is hard for me because Izzy was really beat up on about you have no wrestling, you have no wrestling, you have no wrestling. These last 2 fights, he's brought out good wrestling defense. But we've never seen him against a legit wrestler since Brunson. Yeah. Brunson, in my opinion, go ahead.
Can I just redo my question? How do you see Whitaker winning this fight?
I see Whitaker taking this into the deeper rounds. Okay. I think that the only way he wins this is it's got to be a close split decision win. You know, I don't think that he knocks Izzy out unless somehow he catches him. But Izzy's positioning and him knowing his distance, like Izzy will play it by a feather. If you and like I told the fans earlier, if you guys go watch the Paulo Costa fight and that last sequence before the knockout, Paulo Costa threw a right hand, right, and it missed by this much. And if fans, I know you can't see, but my fingers are about centimeters away, and he missed. Had a quick back. And hit him with a right hand right on the temple. He's so precise. His accuracy, in my opinion, is like 100%. Every significant shot that he wants to hit and whatever body part he wants to hit it in, he's hitting it.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen this skilled of a fighter, I think, in a while.
Yeah, technique-wise.
And he just keeps getting better and better.
Every fight.
Better. It's like you think that, like, okay, yeah, this is going to be the best we ever see this guy, like, yes, he's probably going to do this next fight, but he can't get better than this. And then
proves everybody wrong.
He just goes, yeah, okay, well, here's a spinning heel kick that I learned.
He just, like you just said it, he gets better every fight. It's so awesome to be in this era of MMA and combat sports because we're seeing the best talent that we're ever going to see.
Yeah, and I was saying this last March when we first started talking UFC on here, that this is the golden age of UFC. This is, going back to my childhood, the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Comparing to WWE, because those from 1990, well, I want to say 1996 to about 2005, that was the golden era of WWE. When you had The Undertaker, The Rock, Stone Cold, Steve Austin, Bret the Hitman Hart in his later
Goldberg.
years. Well, yeah, Goldberg.
He's an older guy, but
coming over from WCW. I mean, you had that whole competition. Of course, I don't think that Bellator or any other fighting like MMA is going to compete with UFC at this point. But just the rise and just see the fans and like the chanting. It gives me chills. The first one, it was the April pay-per-view in Jacksonville last year. That's when I said it. When I'm watching it, I'm like, yeah, no, this is Attitude Era, WWE. It's just UFC 2021.
With the times that we're in right now, dealing with COVID and this pandemic around the world right now, a lot of stuff had a really negative impact, and I'm talking about jobs and different types of promotions and sporting events. Everything got shut down. No fans. Now, what do we see with UFC? And I can't bring up the statistics. It'd take me a little bit to look it up, but the rise in UFC through COVID, through any other sports, it's unmatchable. It's COVID did the best thing it possibly could have for UFC. It brought in the most fans. It kept the diehard real guys into it, and the amount of people that we've gotten through it with being the only sport on television and the internet. It brought in millions and millions and millions of people, and the promoting through different types of fighters and the rise of certain fighters just getting into the UFC. It's just everything fell into line for Dana White and all the other people in commission for UFC. Everything just worked out perfectly.
And before, watching back in like 2017, 2018, you would see maybe one cut to like one celebrity or like, oh yeah, an old UFC guy. Now, after every fight going to the prelims, you see, okay, here's this celebrity, or here's this celebrity. Oh, hey, by the way, there's the Iceman.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen the cards and stuff like that. We could start rattling off names between Mike Tyson. I mean, I think the one card, and if my memory's correct, Beyonce was at the one fight. Justin Bieber, a whole bunch of rappers. I'm really big.
Moneybag Yo walked out the Jacksonville one.
Yeah.
God, who was on that card? I forgot who he walked out for, but he walked out singing his song, or rapping his song, or whatever you want to say. And I just thought that was the coolest thing ever.
It just goes to show where UFC has started and where we've gotten to right now. The platform is just, and it's still rising.
And you know what's funny? I bet I said the Iceman, Chuck Liddell, by the way. Like, forgot his name for a second there, but I bet hearing the Iceman, some people don't even know who that is.
Yeah, which is crazy.
It sucks because Chuck Liddell was honestly one of the best UFC fighters ever, too.
100%.
Cody, I hate to do this to you.
I know. We got to do the predictions and all this other stuff. I know.
It is that time.
Let me get to mine.
Of course.
Because, I got to explain a couple of things. Right? I have two. Where's the camera? Two predictions. If Israel Adesanya wins this fight, I'm picking it to be, I'm going to say, a 4th round knockout. I think that his ability and the gap that he's made between the other fighters in this division, it's just too far to catch up to. I think Robert Whittaker is a great fighter, and he's legitimately the 2nd best guy in the division right now. I don't think there's anybody else that can put Israel to another test. But that's just how I think it's going to go for Izzy. If Robert Whittaker wins this fight, like I said, he's going to have to drag it out through deep waters. He's going to have to take Izzy into uncomfortable places in that 5th round. And test his cardio, test his heart, and test how bad Izzy wants to keep this title. I'm going to have to go a split decision win for Rob if he wins this. But those are the two places I can go. I can't give you a definite answer. It's too close.
I'll give you a definite answer. Round 3, TKO, Israel Adesanya.
The last style bender.
I think this is going to be very similar to the Usman fight that was not his most recent title defense, but the one before that.
With Gilbert Burns.
Yeah. No. What was his most recent one then?
Colby Covington.
That one. Okay, so yeah, then the Colby Covington fight where, yes, Whittaker is one of the top guys and he, deserves his chance all he got, but Adesanya is just miles ahead of him. And by round 2, you're going to see Israel just playing with his food. He's just going to be like, okay, yeah, this is cool. Yeah, here, yeah, do this, do that, whatever. I'll give you a nice little leg kick. And then he's got to get like one little hit or one little kick and be like, okay, you know what, maybe I should end this. Round 3, he's going to end it.
Yeah. I mean, time will tell. You know what I mean? This weekend is coming, and UFC 271 is definitely going to be a barn burner.
I know. I am so excited.
I can't wait.
And Alex is going to be there.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's going to be here all weekend, so
good.
You're going to be able to talk your smack with him.
I can't wait. I'm very excited.
Of course, you are listening to 90.7 WCLH. This is the Letterman. When we come back, we are going to do NFL honors and the Hall of Fame finalists. This, like I said, 90.7 WCLH. Keep it locked. Welcome back to the Letterman here on 90.7 WCLH. Oh, sorry about that. Forgot the pause the music there. We're back talking NFL honors. Well, first we're going to start with the NFL Hall of Fame class. I'm joined here by Zara, Zach, and Pat.
How's it going?
It's going well. How are you guys doing today?
Pretty good. The weather is really nice.
Very nice.
It is very nice out. I'm wearing shorts today.
Football, huh?
You are wearing shorts, aren't you?
Yeah.
I didn't see your bottom when I walked in.
Yeah. I mean, of course I'm rocking the slides. When am I not rocking the slides?
Slides are everyday weather kind of thing, my dog. Rock out in some slides in the snow. That's how it is. Oh, oops.
Yeah, no, you're good.
No one probably heard what I just said.
Yeah,
It's okay.
it's barely coming in.
I was just saying rocking out some slides. We're not talking football yet.
Fair enough. Anyway, getting to the Hall of Fame class of 2022. I mean, I love how you started it off.
I wanted to start off with your boy.
Because, oh my God, I was.
That's your first one, isn't it?
This is our first Jacksonville
Really?
Jaguar Hall of Fame inductee. And you know what? I might have to go to Canton this summer.
I respect it.
Go, do it.
I already looked up. It's 5 hours away.
I've been. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, no, I to see Tony. I mean, I loved Tony growing up, even though I guess when I was born he retired.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I was very confused there for a second.
Huh?
Because you said you loved Tony growing up.
I always loved Tony.
But
Tony's my
it's like
guy.
how I love Ray Lewis, and by the time I was watching football, he was done. So I get it.
Yeah, it's fair.
Well, Ray Lewis is another living, walking legend.
We're not gonna go there today, though. We're gonna give you your moment.
I know. So Tony Baselli, 3-time All-Pro, 5 Pro Bowls in his short but yet fantastic career. Only allowed 15 and a half sacks.
I
his whole
found
career.
that. Yeah.
I mean, he. Some
That's
might say
absurd.
Some might say he's the best tackle ever, if he kept playing. But
Okay, there we go. All right. You that second part in there, I'll take that. Okay.
I mean, in my heart, he's the best tackle.
Of course, he's gonna be in your heart.
He's the best tackle. But for fans that do not follow the Jacksonville Jaguars, so everyone else in the NFL, yes,
I think
Tony.
anyone that watches this show now has
Hold on
just
a
like a
second.
proxy Jaguars fan at this point.
Was there... I'm looking at this right now, and it says he was on the Jags from 95 to 2001.
Yes.
He was our first pick
Ever.
But is that even enough years to get to the Hall of Fame? I mean,
You only need 3, technically.
He's in. So
I know he's... That's
You
crazy.
technically only need 3.
Because I remember the argument with Patrick Willis and Luke Kuechly, how they're saying they had 8 or 9 seasons. They don't think that's enough time to get into the Hall of Fame.
Luke Kuechly will be a Hall of Famer.
Luke
at
Kuechly-
some
They'll
point.
both be a Hall of
We're talking
Famer.
about first ballot. Was Tony Baselli your first ballot or no?
No. This is like his 10th time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. This has been a long time coming. I think he deserved it.
Oh, he definitely did. Don't get me
Definitely
wrong.
deserved
He deserved it a
I
couple
just didn't-
classes ago. But
I was
I'm
just
very
confused
happy.
because it's only 6 years, and I was like, I don't know if that's enough to wear in it, but clearly it is. So-
The length of it, it's 4. I'm pretty sure it's 4 years, but that's the reason why Sean Taylor never go in the Hall of Fame, because he only played 3.5. So Sean Taylor, for as good as he was for that short period of time, the problem was it was only for
Yeah.
it's that he's not eligible.
No, it makes sense. I was just very confused for a second.
Yeah, no, I get it.
But no, yeah, he's.
Anything else you want to
Congrats,
say
though.
for
First
you? 'Cause
Jags.
this is more or less Martel's guy here, so I kind of want to give him all the opportunity just to go off on him.
I mean, yeah, I kind of already did. I mean, there's nothing else. I mean, he was a staple. I loved Bruce Smith introducing him. I got really angry after because he was like one of the last Hall of Fames announced. So I'm sitting there. I think it was after Sam Mills. It was after the Sam Mills. I was like, this is unbelievable. I can't believe Tony Baselli. Like I'm sitting there complaining.
I texted you the moment I saw it. I'm
And
like,
well,
yeah.
Right after I started complaining, I see Bruce Smith introducing Tony Baselli. I'm like, oh, okay, no, this is good. We're fine. But yeah, no, I mean, he deserves it. There's a couple other guys in Jacksonville history that I think deserve it.
Trevor Lawrence being one of them.
Listen, don't get me started like that, Pat. But yeah,
There should be a prospect Hall of Fame for every single guy that comes out the draft. Just like, okay, never mind. I'm gonna stop while I'm at it because that was dumb.
well, moving on. We'll go to Cliff Branch. He was the senior. If I'm
Senior,
correct.
he's one of the
This
seniors.
is interesting because
It was him, and it was also, I want to say, it's him and Art Malini. No, it was him. He was the senior one.
Yeah,
It was
no,
only
he was
him.
the senior member of the class.
He was the senior member of the
See,
class.
this is interesting because you look at this class that got in, and you look at the players that didn't make it in. Compared like the stats to like the achievements to then to now is very different.
I think this was a class more or less to get a lot of guys in that just needed due time, where it was like you paid your
Yeah.
dues, get in.
I mean, going further, Richard Seymour, I think he deserves it 100%.
yeah.
I mean, all these guys.
Well,
obviously.
I also want to talk about Leroy Butler. So he is probably the best Packers safety to ever play in Green Bay.
That's not saying much.
That actually is. Green Bay has pretty good safeties, but
Well, yeah, Darnell Savage is nice.
Hey, don't leave Maryland out of this. I like Darnold. Leave him out of
no,
this.
Nick Collins was our second best safety to ever play.
Isn't that the guy that like broke his neck or something, had to retire?
Yeah,
Nice.
the year after he won the Super Bowl.
I remember.
He was so good. He would have been in the Hall of Fame. He was the second round pick in the 2005 draft with Aaron Rodgers. He
See,
was insane.
I never watched Nick Collins play, but I knew this is how I got into football. He was stuck in Madden for like 2 years after he got hurt, and every year he was a 90 in free agency. So I had to trick every single time to pick up Nick Collins. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know who he played for. I just knew he was a beast safety that you could get free agency for free on Madden.
He was such a ball hawk. He can cover. He was insane. But we're not talking about Nick Collins. We're talking about Leroy Butler. And it's actually funny because both these players are actually number 36, like their jersey number. But Leroy Butler started the Lambeau Leap in 1991. He is the one that started the whole tradition of the Great Lambeau Leap. And like I
Hall of
said,
Fame worthy in itself.
That's
like-
respect right there.
that's one of the best celebrations in any franchise, like any sport, I feel like. And
Yeah.
he started it. So, yeah. But I believe he's been a finalist. I believe he's been a
For
finalist.
people wondering, I did the Gator chop.
They can see you, Martel.
Well, not people on the radio.
Yeah, what?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Dang, I
Yeah.
forgot we are on air today. That show yesterday messed me up. I'm sorry. Forget it. I'm sorry.
Okay, but like I said, what was I saying? Oh yeah, he was a finalist. I think the last 5 years. So I'm finally glad he made it in.
Was he a finalist for the last 5
I believe
years?
he was a finalist.
I know he
5
retired
years.
a
He
pretty
re-
long time ago.
It was.
It
It was
was.
like late 2000. It was late 1990s or early 2000s.
He's the one guy I forgot to put the career on. I forgot to put the
I know.
Hall of
I was
League on.
confused about
I'm
that.
sorry.
You also
no.
didn't put the team. I was like, but I know I know what team he's on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm
knew he
sorry
was a
about
Packer.
that.
He was introduced by Brett Favre. So I knew
Oh,
he was-
okay.
I knew he was
Yeah.
a Packer.
But then there's one other player I do want to talk about.
Who?
Sam Mills.
Of course.
I was happy he got in. I remember watching the football life of him. It's very sad how his life ended, but what he did as a linebacker, and he was a coach, I believe.
Yeah, that's
It
where they
was-
got keep pounding from when he
Yeah.
was battling with cancer
Yeah.
while still being an assistant on their staff.
He had a great career, and he proved that height really doesn't matter.
And
He's like one of the first players to prove that height did not matter.
if you, if you want to go back and watch some really good linebacker play, if you're interested, watching him and Ricky Jackson and for the Saints in the late '80s, early '90s is some of the best football from a linebacker position that you'll watch. I mean, they were an electric duo.
Got them to their first playoffs.
Yeah, and I mean, Ricky Jackson introducing Sam Mills, it was just incredible moment.
It's heartwarming.
Yeah, so
It's crazy to think that a dude that only played for Carolina for 3 years got a statue out there. But you look at the impact and what he meant to that organization, and you see why.
yeah.
So
So going back to Cliff Branch, because we kind of touched on him, but we
Yeah.
didn't really get to him.
we'll give everyone some due time.
Four-time Pro Bowler, three-time first-team All-Pro. Of course, part of the incredible years of John Madden and three-time Super Bowl. Olympic runner. A lot of people don't know that about Cliff. He was an Olympic runner.
Dude
So-
qualified for American sprints. He played silver. He never went gold, but he did play silver.
Yeah, so I mean, he was an incredible athlete in himself. What's that? 8,000 yards, 67 touchdowns. I mean, back in the 70s and 80s, that's
That's amazing.
it's amazing.
There's one other player definitely deserved it. Bryant Young, Niners
Yeah.
defensive tackle.
He's at the bottom of the dock, but
Hands
yeah,
down
he
deserved
definitely
it.
did.
4-time Pro Bowler, 1-time All-Pro, 1 Super Bowl, 90 sacks. Played with them from 94 to 2007.
I got to be honest. When they announced Bryant Young, I had no clue who he was. But then they said, "Hey, he's the all-time sacks leader in 49ers history." I was like, "Okay, I guess that deserves a Hall of Fame nod."
But I say when you have the all-time sack leader for the 49ers, an organization like that, yeah, you're in there.
Especially, the 49ers organization
And then-
the amount of success that they've had over the years. Bryant Young, I I mean, I'll probably look up his highlights or look up something about him after this. But
Before you even do that, look up the interviews of people talking about it. I watched interviews from like Larry Allen talking about him with being in practice with him for a good time. The way he's revered across a lot of his peers in the league is what honestly got him there, and that's even the ESPN article and the what was the other article I read? I'm pretty sure it was. I think what SB Nation article also said, where it's more or less his impact and his reputation is what got him there more than anything over stats, which were darn good on their own.
And not the last person, but the last player to make it in, Richard Seymour. I mean, I know him as the New England Patriot, part of those early Super Bowl years. I mean, he did play for the Oakland Raiders.
I must say, I know him as the Raiders guy eating up. He was still eating on the Raiders.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, every guy that goes to the Raiders in their twilight years, they still
eat.
Yeah, so 7-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All Pro, 2000s All Decade team. Again, a part of that incredible dynasty that the Patriots had in the early 2000s. Without him, I mean, there's plenty of players on that team that down the road they're going to be Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Obviously, Tom Brady, 5 years
without a doubt.
So, but
Best player of all time.
talk about other players on that team though: Richard Seymour, Rodney Harrison, Ty Law. Which Ty Law, if I'm not mistaken, is he already in?
I
He
think
got
he
in
did get in last year.
A year or two ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Rodney Harrison in?
Yes, he is in. He is in. I'm 90% sure.
I know Willie McGinnis.
Willie McGinnis is in. Really?
Yeah.
Willie McGinnis was an animal.
He was amazing.
I know he was. I didn't thought
Do
he
you
did.
think Vince Wilfork makes it?
I think he could.
You think he could?
It gave me the Browns Rodney Harrison when I tried to look it up.
That's kind of funny.
He was actually a Jaguar.
You realize it's Rodney Harrison.
It's not letting me do it.
It's Rodney.
Oh yeah, I should probably. And then give me Rodney Harrison Jr. There it is. Okay, Zach and his spelling. Hold on, he's getting it. He's getting it. I swear to goodness, he's not a Hall of Famer.
Rodney Harrison, really?
He'll get in. He'll get
not
in.
yet.
He's not yet. He'll
Not
be
yet.
there.
That's a. I don't know how the saying goes.
He might be a senior. He might be a senior.
Right.
No, that's no.
But yeah.
He has plenty of years to get it in the next 15, I think.
Yeah.
But I definitely think this is exactly what you said. This is just a class to get people who have been waiting for a long time to get them in.
Yeah, I mean, people.
like
Andre,
DeMarcus Ware to get it, Reggie Wayne,
to be
Devin
fair,
Hester.
To be fair, DeMarcus Ware.
He's there next year. They just want to get some guys off the ballot that have been
But
sitting
Reggie,
for a while.
like is the reason why they didn't do that this year because who's eligible next year? Isn't
Let's look
Steve
that
Smith
up.
eligible?
Eli Manning.
Yeah, Eli is eligible. Eli is eligible
Eli's
next year.
no way.
Wait,
It's been
maybe.
5
No,
years.
let's
It has
look it
not
up.
been 5 years.
Hold on.
I feel like
We're
Pat
gonna-
would know this.
It's got to be close.
It's close, but I don't think it's been 5 years.
Wasn't his last year? Yeah,
Daniel Jones
2018.
hasn't even been. Or how long has Daniel Jones been in the
Yeah,
league?
no. Daniel Jones coming on his 5th year now. If any, no, he's coming on his 4th year now, so he
it's
wouldn't
his
be eligible
4th
yet.
year. So no, Eli Manning will be eligible the following year.
I wouldn't know. I mean, he's not a Hall of Famer anyway.
Eli?
is.
I agree.
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah,
he's
he
first.
is.
Stop.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
He's gonna get it regardless.
Yeah,
But he better not get
All
first
right,
ballot.
I have the
like,
list
look
up.
at some of these guys.
Wait,
listed
so
in this
here's all
year.
the guys that are eligible starting next season: Cam Chancellor, Jari Evans, Matt Forte, Dwight Freeney,
Freeney.
James Harrison, Chris Johnson, Carson Palmer, Darrell Revis, and Joe Thomas.
that's
Joe
2017.
That's
Easily
2017.
Joe Thomas.
Joe Thomas is getting in
Easily,
first
I would say
ballot.
Chris Johnson.
No.
Not
What?
first
No?
ballot. He'll
Not
get there.
first ballot.
He'll get there, but he's
no,
not first
Chris
ballot.
Johnson?
We're talking first
Wait,
ballot.
repeat the name.
Hold on
Repeat
a
the list
second.
again.
We're talking about
So,
Chris Johnson.
Cam
here. I know
Chancellor-
he's had an amazing career. Like, I know he had an amazing few years, but I don't think he's Hall of Fame.
He's Hall of Fame.
Wait.
I think
Bam Bam
eventually-
Cam.
Bam Bam Cam's
Bam Bam Cam.
Bam Bam Cam's eligible.
Dwight Freeney is 100% a first
Yeah,
ballot.
Dwight
Bam Bam.
Freeney.
I don't know about first ballot.
Dwight Freeney?
I'm gonna have to disagree with you there.
Dwight-
I
mean,
think I put James over him, baby.
Dwight Freeney.
James Harrison.
James Harrison, because James Harrison and him are both up.
Yeah, no, these next couple. I think
Like one of the best Colts
These next
players
couple
in.
classes.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
in their
saying.
all, like team history. Dwight Freeney, that Dwight
James
Freeney.
Harrison's not one of the best Steelers of all time, and that's a Steeler.
All I'm saying is if you don't think Dwight Freeney is the first ballot,
I
Dwight
in a
Freeney
normal
wasn't-
situation, he good.
Tom
Dwight
Brady-
Freeney have, like, the
Tom
most
Brady
sacks
said
of
that-
all time.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something
Dwight
like
Freeney
that.
said that, or Tom Brady said that Dwight Freeney was one of the scariest people. That he's
Well, I'm
ever
not
gone
saying
at.
he's not. I'm just saying maybe he's a second ballot.
Why would he be? What is your reasoning for that? That is what I'm asking. What is
Because
your
I'm
reasoning?
thinking about who's left. DeMarcus Ware hasn't gotten in yet.
That's fine. Dwight Freeney's better than DeMarcus Ware.
No.
Don't disrespect DeMarcus Ware.
Don't
like
do
ever
that.
again.
We got in this argument. Me and Martel got in this argument yesterday with our friend.
We're
no,
getting
not
sidetracked.
talking
We're
about
talking-
that.
we'll
I don't want
talk
to remember.
about-
I don't remember.
We're talking
go
about
to-
potential.
But
We'll
back to what we
talk
were
about
trying.
this.
Oh,
Going to the coach that got the Hall of Fame inductee, Dick Vermeil, coached for the Eagles back in 1976 to 1982.
got him to a Super Bowl.
He did. St. Louis Rams, of course, one of the main reasons.
Greatest show on turf.
Greatest show on turf. And then the Kansas City Chiefs, of course, he had the human joystick.
He had Priest Holmes too.
Yeah. So, I mean, a Hall of Fame coach, 1-1 in the Super Bowl.
Doesn't have like a really good record. It's just above a 50 win percentage.
Yeah, 120
but
and 109. But
he's
I mean, still,
there
Dick
for the greatest
Vermeil-
show on turf.
Dick Vermeil, I mean, without him, there's a lot of the way his offense developed the game of football to
Yeah.
what it is now today. He's a very important part of NFL history, so I definitely think he deserved this.
Without Dick Vermeil, we don't have Kurt Warner.
Exactly. Well,
We don't.
yeah, okay, fair
We
enough.
don't.
So yeah, I mean and then Art McNally, he's the executive for
I actually looked it up. He's
Director of officiating.
the
And,
contributor.
yeah, and then also assistant supervisor of officials from 1995 to 2007.
So basically, all I'm hearing is that he's a zebra.
Right, which also, like, I don't know how I feel about, people like this even getting elected to the Hall of Fame, but it is, I guess, the NFL Hall
Honestly,
of Fame, and they're technically NFL associates, so sure.
I get that, but I think it's also nice to see another person like in the NFL community getting in. Like I know it's a ref, but if it's like if it's a great ref that's made a huge impact, I like
Yeah.
it.
And I mean,
I like
he was involved in the
you're
league
right, we don't
since
like zebras.
1959 until 2007. So like,
Yeah,
he's
he deserves
he's seen
it.
it all,
Good for
Yeah,
him.
no, honestly, that's a great accomplishment.
He was there for the
Good
Ice
him.
Bowl.
He was the
Yeah.
first ref to actually keep all
He
his
was there for
officials
this.
on the field with him at all times, and he was the first ref to use the invention of replay.
See, no, he
Oh,
deserves
yeah.
it. He
Yeah,
100%
good for
does.
him. Good for Art.
But
I don't know about any other refs, but I'll deal with that one.
I guess he did a good job. Anyway, that is
There's a quote from him, but I didn't put it in the doc because I didn't feel like it.
that's fine. That is the 2022 Hall of Fame class. Again, it was Tony Baselli.
Tony Baselli, Cliff Branch, Leroy Butler, Art McNally, Sam Mills, Richard Seymour, Dick Vermeil, and Bryant Young.
So, yeah, it was a good class. I mean, everyone again deserves to be in the Hall of Fame at some point or another if they're on the Hall of Fame list. So
Yeah.
or especially if they're in the finalist list. So congrats to them. Can't wait to be in Canton.
I do want to add this one thing. I think with Leroy Butler making it, I think the Packers are now tied with the Bears for most Hall of Famers.
Let's look. Time for
I
a Google search.
believe, unless they're one behind.
While Zach does that Google search, we are going to get into the NFL awards that happened last night. Of course, starting with the most prestigious award of them all, the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. Going to Andrew Whitworth.
That's fair.
I mean-
Cool. He's 40. He should be doing good stuff. He should be doing good stuff off the field, right? I mean, like, it was a cool story about the Lions player. I don't remember his name.
Do you know what's interesting?
Came up to him and was like, "Oh, you volunteered when you were in Cincy, and you would sit and talk to me, and now I'm in the NFL. Like, you inspired me." So that's cool. Like, it shows you can actually have a true impact on your community.
Do you know what I just realized? The Walter Payton Man of the Year award every year has gone to a veteran that is about to retire.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Chris Long got it a year back or something like that.
Yeah.
Larry Fitzgerald, Eli Manning both got it the same year. Who got it last year?
Calais Campbell.
And
He
it
announced
sucks
it.
you don't get to see.
He's literally about to retire soon too.
Drew Brees got it.
Drew Brees did get it.
a
Like
couple years
I just
before
realized
he
they're not
retired.
going to give it to young players. That
Yeah.
Well, because young guys usually aren't the ones out there doing community work a lot of the time.
That's not true.
Generally.
Like literally, I'm just gonna throw this out for example because I didn't really know who was in the candidates, but I'm saying Aaron Jones was the Packers one. And he's been doing amazing things the past 2 years in Green Bay. So I don't understand why younger players can't get that award.
I mean, there's a ton of players out there that do amazing things.
Almost all of them.
That's what I'm saying. But why are they just giving it to the veterans? Then the ones that are bad to retire.
I feel like the older ones just have these like well-established, charities and stuff like that. They raise so much money. It's because it's a known organization. Where like some of these young guys start their own foundation and just take some time to build up is my best guess.
But I think that's more impressive that they're willing, like even with their less money they have, they're willing to help out more. Whereas like the veterans that have all their money and stuff, they're like, okay, now we can put up this community. I think it's more impressive to see the younger guys putting in more.
I think Whitworth too is definitely done after this year.
I do too. If he wins, regardless of the Super Bowl,
Sunday.
When they do win.
When they lose.
When they win.
I'm not saying anything until.
Well, we have a whole segment for that. We're not going to spoil ourselves just yet.
Moving forward to the assistant coach of the year.
Was it Dan Campbell?
No, it was Mike Vrabel.
Mike. Oh, you said assistant. He said.
Oh, you said assistant. Why'd you say Dan Campbell?
Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn. I said Campbell. I said Dan Campbell. Wow. Dan Quinn. I'm sorry.
So Dan Quinn was the assistant coach of the year. I 100% agree with this. I didn't think any other
also
assistant.
agree with this.
Maybe the special teams coordinator for the Packers.
Oh yeah, round of applause.
Just saying, it does help to be the assistant of the year as a D coordinator when you get the defensive rookie of the year as well.
That is it. Yeah. Well, I guess we're gonna tie them in together. I mean, Micah Parsons, defense rookie of the year.
He deserved it.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, there was when they showed
They should just rename that award.
No, if they
to
didn't
the Micah
rename
Parsons
if they
of
didn't
rookie of the
rename
year.
Alex Smith Award. If they didn't rename the comeback player of the year award, they're never renaming an award.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
I'm still sad they didn't rename that to it.
I mean, yeah, I wish they would have, but.
But going to Dan Quinn and Micah Parsons. I mean, Micah Parsons was receiving defensive player of the year votes. I mean, he 100% deserved it.
Without a doubt.
There was no other defensive rookie that even stood close to Micah Parsons.
He won unanimously for defensive rookie of the year, right? Okay.
No way.
I didn't see.
There's no way he did. There's no way he did.
I mean, like you just watch him. Like if you have ever watched a Cowboys game, you can see how fast and how much of an impact he makes on every single play. He's in on every single play.
It was kind of funny in the Pro Bowl how he was the only one trying.
Yeah. Well, you're young. You want to get out there.
Micah Parsons
so bad.
Oh my God.
That's why we didn't talk about it. So Micah Parsons was the first defensive rookie to be a unanimous choice in NFL history.
Who would you even? I couldn't even name someone who.
It is surprising though because Lawrence Taylor won MVP as a rookie.
But no, I'm saying this year.
Oh yeah,
right. Like it's tough to be.
Pat Surtain could have had some votes, possibly.
Right, but it's just like
guys. But
who?
Dominant Pat Surtain had a good couple. Yeah. Jalen Phillips really came on towards the end of the year.
Jalen Phillips had a good year.
He did.
I'm still saying
even Javon Holland.
Javon Holland had a great year.
I mean, he had a fun year.
The Giants' end came around towards the end. Adafe had a great beginning, hit a rookie wall.
I know Stokes had an okay year.
Stokes did have a good year. He was your second corner.
They actually compared Stokes and Jair Alexander's rookie years together and they're the exact same. So I'm excited.
So happy for you.
Yeah,
Fix your special teams.
We did. We got Rick. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name.
Make sure you get a quarterback next year.
It's okay. All I'm saying is we finally got a special teams coordinator, and it is amazing. I'm loving it.
Yeah, when you lose your quarterback.
When you lose your quarterback and wide receiver and the rest of your defense, yeah. Talk to me then.
Jordan Love to Alan Lazard for a touchdown.
No, Marcus Valdez-Scantling.
I'm sorry, MVS.
Hey, he's good.
From,
I like MVS.
From Malik Willis to Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
That's a bold take right there.
No, that's not.
All right, we're getting sidetracked.
So, yeah, Dan Quinn, I mean, made that Cowboys defense very electric to watch. They flew around. Specifically, Micah Parsons. I mean, the ability that he is able to do at such a young age where they could throw him at linebacker, next week throw him at end, next week throw him at rover. I mean, it's incredible how intelligent of a football player he is at such a young age, and he's
a freak athlete too.
Yeah,
in high school he played running back.
Yeah.
Like he was a 4-star as a running back.
See,
I want you to know he was a scary running. We had to scout him against because my high school played against him in played against him. It was a scary dude. We weren't worried about him on offense. We said just worry about him we weren't worried about him on defense. So worry about him on offense. Watching the film of him,
choking just remembering things?
I am because I remember sitting in that. I remember sitting in those meetings with my coach. I wasn't even on the team yet. I was a freshman, but we had to sit in and just watch the older guys do their job. And I remember sitting in those meetings. We didn't even watch defensive film that week. We just watched offensive films of Micah Parsons just rip and run and rip and run. It was scary.
where did he go to high school?
He transferred.
Columbia?
He went to Harrisburg.
Oh, that's what it was.
Central Dolphin.
He went to Central Dolphin, left, and then went to
Is
Harrisburg.
that in, I don't know what that's.
It's in South Central Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Wow.
of near Harrisburg.
It's near Harrisburg. Central Dolphin's a couple. It's a little bit east of Harrisburg, like 30
And
minutes.
of course, he was the Penn State lad.
Yeah.
Well, actually, he didn't even want to go to Penn State. So when he was basically committed to Ohio State, and they brought him on College Game Day, a couple like boosters or whatever, and that's not allowed. Well, it was not allowed at the time with like recruiting, so it was a recruiting violation, and Ohio State had to stop pursuing Micah Parsons. So then he just went to Penn State, which was basically his second option, and then didn't even play his entire senior year at Penn State. Still was a top 10 pick, or was he like 11?
He was
He was 11th, but
Yeah.
And then now is defensive rookie of the
Yeah,
year.
and before we go to break, I just want to touch on Coach of the Year, Mike Vrabel. I know
Wait.
you guys mentioned it before, but I 100%. No, I agree with
I
that.
don't agree with this. I don't.
Go. Tell
Okay.
me why.
There is
Tell me
two-
why Matt LaFleur deserves Coach of the
I
Year.
was
Because they had Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, and a top 10 defense. But yeah, tell me why he deserves it. Or Mike Vrabel, who had 91 players play for him throughout the whole
This
season.
guy's passionate about it.
Yeah. Go.
I was
Tell
also going to talk about Zach Taylor.
That was, I think, the only other option.
But the top three would have been Vrabel, Zach Taylor, and LaFleur.
No, LaFleur is not top 3. I'm sorry.
Why?
No.
Explain to me why.
What
Bill
he just said.
Belichick.
Did you see? You literally pulled.
I would put Bill Belichick over him.
Zach, you literally pulled up an article of the Ravens having the most injuries, the Packers having the second most. So what are you talking about injuries?
So I just want to point out the Coach of the Year voting. This is how it went down: 36 to Mike Vrabel, 8 to Matt LaFleur, 3 to Rich Bisaccio, 2 to Zach Taylor, and 1 to Bill Belichick.
It sucks that Rich Bisaccio is
damn.
not a coach
So
anymore.
we got he's our specialties coordinator.
I mean, like, the Titans, lost a lot of production. Like, Derrick Henry's like 45% of all offensive production for that team. So losing that week 8 is disastrous. And then they still beat the Bills, they beat the Chiefs, they beat the Rams. You know, like, everyone looks now, it's like, oh, the Titans were frauds. Say Evan McPherson misses a field goal. You know, who knows what we're watching now? Because Derrick Henry would have been back. Julio and A.J. Brown would have been back. It's tough to play on a bye.
Julio has not done anything this year.
Yeah, Julio's old. But, like,
Yeah.
they want to talk about, oh, he lost Julio. He lost A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown played, like, every third game, it felt like. So I think, you know, he was deserving. They at least rally around him. Like, you can tell he's a player's coach. He was a former player. Like, I don't know. I think Zach Taylor was on the hot seat basically at the beginning of this year. So that's my only argument really for him.
He was.
But he
and now he's in
also
the Super
did
Bowl.
get his starting quarterback back. He got a stud rookie receiver. Like, they added some pieces that
See,
any coach, I think, could have taken advantage
The
of.
They fixed
Titans-
their entire defense.
The Titans were already in the playoffs last year. That's the thing. And this is why I think Zach Taylor should have won it. He went for having 2 years, the first overall pick and the 5th overall pick, to then being in the playoffs. That alone should have gotten him Coach of the Year. That alone.
Yeah, but the Titans had one of the worst defenses in NFL history last year, and to go from that to getting 9 sacks in the playoffs and like just
But
And then
this,
also-
this
but-
award is regular.
This is a
season.
regular season.
oh,
award.
well,
So they didn't
even
move
going
it.
to
Still-
regular
still
season,
a
they were
top 10
number.
But I'm saying,
Yeah.
using it as an example.
They were
But
number one in the
still-
AFC.
If you want to, like, they made the playoffs last year with all that talent. Then they had to replace all this talent. Like, that is coaching at its finest. Finding replacements
Yeah.
for all these guys that were your giant impact players. I think that, like, Zach Taylor got guys back. He got Burrow back. He added Jamar Chase. Where Vrabel was losing guys as the season went on and still was the 1 seed in the AFC.
So,
Bengals are actually the healthiest team in the NFL this year.
and the Titans were not.
Titans were at
And
the.
with that, we are going to be taking a short little break. When we come back, we will be finishing the NFL award honors awards, and of course, the long-awaited Super Bowl preview. Of course, this is the huddle. Oh, the Letterman.
You're gonna keep calling it that, aren't you?
I am going to keep going.
We're gonna fix it before the end of the year.
Yeah. This is Letterman here at 90.7 WCLH. Keep it locked. Hey, and welcome back to the Letterman here on 90.7 WCLH.
You got it right this time.
I know.
Good job.
You know, I always try to get it right, and I always just
It's habit.
It was
I
our
always-
name for so long,
like,
and now it's
I
changed.
go and
so
say,
we're good.
I go in my head. I'm like, okay, Letterman, huddle. I'm like, oh. Anyway,
We're getting there.
getting back to the NFL awards because we are running a little short on time, and there's a lot to talk about. The comeback player of the year, offensive rookie of the year. I mean, they go hand in hand here. Without one, the other's not there.
Both these were expected win.
Shiesty.
Joe Shiesty.
Yeah, by the end of the regular
That's
season, you knew
Marches.
exactly who was getting
Yeah.
these awards.
Yeah,
People,
I think
I mean, the only argument could have been Nick Bosa. That is the only other argument.
he got no votes.
Who?
Dax didn't get the votes before Nick Bosa.
Dak got more votes than Nick Bosa.
Dax didn't get more votes than
It
Nick
was
Bosa.
it was literally only Joe Burrow, or it was Joe Burrow, Dak Prescott, and Derwin James got one vote.
Derwin
James did not deserve that one vote.
Well, yeah, he missed 2 years.
I don't care. He literally
He missed
is
2
the
years
most-
in an All-Pro.
No, hold on. Because I was so on the Derwin James train. He was great his rookie year. But I know he missed 2 years, but I didn't think he had that great of a year this year. And I
think he did.
No, I think people still regard him as that player that he was in college, and that how he because remember how he fell? I even remember this because the Packers had the 13th overall pick, and I thought we were about to get Derwin James, and then we traded down, and I was so sad.
I think this is a quarterback's award.
You think
People love the guy that's
I-
the face, and he fell from grace, and now he's like Joe Burrow was the easiest pick.
to be fair,
Once
but
he
got
won,
to the playoffs. I don't. Compared to other awards, I don't think this is a quarterback award. I really don't.
I just think voters like to give awards to
Like,
quarterbacks.
Let's say Derrick Henry was out for the season. Next year, he would have been comeback player of the year.
No, because I feel like he can still up for it now, and he's not going to get it.
Okay, fine. Christian McCaffrey. Next year, if he plays a whole
No.
healthy season, you don't think he's going to get
if
it?
he gets 2,000 scrimmage yards, yes, he can. Get
Over
At 2,000 scrimmage yards, what
missed the
quarterbacks
year?
were lost this year?
Yeah, what quarterbacks missed the year? The only one I could think of is Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Hey,
Jalen
listen.
Hurts lost his talent. So.
Oh my God! I can't stand.
I would say Lamar Jackson, but he only missed a couple months.
Ryan Tannehill won it because he was on the Dolphins.
You know, I'm not even a Jalen Hurts fan, and you make me like.
No, wait, that was.
We can argue about this off air.
See,
I could go in for hours.
I will
about
never,
that.
honestly, I will never take this award seriously after. Like, Brian Tannehill deserved it that year. But the fact that they said that being on the Dolphins was worthy of a comeback is hilarious.
I will say, though, what is your beef with Jalen Hurts?
I'm an Eagles fan. If you're an Eagles fan, you have beef with Jalen Hurts.
Okay, but
If you're an Eagles
If
fan, you
you-
have beef with all your quarterbacks.
No.
It's the reason
but
why Wentz left.
when you look at the stats, like the first 2 years between Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts looks better.
Okay, yeah, but Josh Allen, everyone was saying the same thing in Buffalo at the time. Everyone was
okay,
ready.
so why-
He was sailing because he's not Josh Allen. Josh Allen is a 6'6" tank with a rocket arm. Jalen Hurts has always had accuracy problems, even in college. He had to transfer out of Alabama because of it and got replaced because of it. Like, it is an issue that will be a problem further down the line, and then we're going to have a whole nother quarterback saga, but that's not the point right now. The point is
Joe
Burrow.
Joe Burrow,
Jamar
Jamar
Chase.
Chase. Jamar Chase, obviously Offensive Rookie of the Year.
They both won this award Week 17 versus Chiefs.
Well, I'm saying who else even?
Who was in the can? Who was? There's Najee. Did Najee get any
Devontae
votes?
Smith is up there.
For offensive rookie, it was just Mac
Mac
Jones,
Jones.
and Jalen Waddle.
Jalen
Jalen
Waddle?
Waddle deserved a vote. No.
Yeah.
I mean, he broke the rookie receptions record, so that
Yeah,
was, that was
he had a
cool
lot of
record.
production.
What was the who got vote? Did it say how many?
And then Mac Jones, he had a solid year, but like,
I mean, he brought the Patriots to the playoffs.
yeah, Jamar Chase was
that's accomplishment in itself.
Jamar Chase
I
was
like this.
superhuman.
I like this. Jamar Chase got 42 votes. Mac Jones got 5. Creed Humphrey got 2, and Rashawn Slater got 1.
Wow.
Yeah, good for Creed Humphrey.
Good for the offensive line. Can we give a round of applause?
But they would never actually win the
Wait,
award.
so Jalen Waddle didn't get any votes though.
Jalen Waddle did not get any votes. He was just on the screen.
He broke the receptions record though.
He did.
And
Which-
then-
that's
kinda
surprising that he
weird
didn't get a vote.
Jamar
yeah.
Chase broke the receiving record for a rookie, correct?
I
For
wrote.
rookie of the game,
so I was
rookie of the
writing.
season.
yeah.
No, yeah. He broke 4 records this season. When I was writing the article, he broke the in-game record for a rookie, season record for a rookie. He also broke a playoff record. He got 3 games with over 100 plus. I think it's
I
it was
saw
like
that.
100 plus,
Yeah.
and then there was one other record that
Yeah.
I completely forgot.
But yeah, I think deserving. And then Burrow, comeback player of the year, like you said, goes hand in hand.
He also tied a record, I think, in the last 2 weeks of the season where he got like 500 plus.
Against what team?
It was the Chiefs, and then there was one other team.
What team?
Was it the Ravens?
Shut up.
For the voting for comeback player of the year, a lot closer, and I definitely expected this. 28 votes for Joe Burrow, 21 votes for Dak, and 1 vote for Derwin.
Still don't agree with
Dak,
Derwin.
Dak was gonna get votes.
I didn't think Dak should
I
have
mean,
gone it after.
My argument for why Dak could have won is definitely he coming from
He had the more
injury.
gruesome injury.
He had the more gruesome injury, and coming from that injury, he broke the Dallas Cowboys passing touchdown record, franchise passing touchdown record
Yeah.
in a season. So I mean, he was definitely deserving of that award, and I mean, he got 21 votes, so 21.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can make an argument for either.
I mean, Dak's a good quarterback, obviously, but it was Joe Burrow. We all
Yeah,
know it.
I agree.
But
It's too bad he has Mike McCarthy.
I wouldn't have been shocked, right, if Dak won it.
No.
But
I wouldn't
Dak,
have either.
I mean, they're both surrounded by talent.
So
But Burrow's main guy was a rookie, right? Dak had Lamb, Cooper Kupp, and Zeke. Now, I mean, and Tony Pollard, who's had a better year than Zeke. But yeah, I mean,
Pollard.
it
Pollard a
was
lot.
Burrow's award. I think. I
It
think
was.
the right decision was made.
also just what he did for going from being so bad, like the Bengals being so bad.
Yeah.
Like I know the Cowboys were also bad the year before, but that's because they lost all their players.
Right? Yeah, it does help when you
So, yeah.
completely revive your team.
But
so going to defensive player of the year.
now I want to. T.J. Watt. I'm happy he got it.
He finally got it.
I mean, yeah.
This is a finally he got it.
He deserved it.
How many?
though.
What were the votes like?
It was 42 for T.J. Watt, 5 for Micah Parsons, 3 for Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it really hurts seeing T.J. Watt constantly just pop off because 2017 draft, we decided to trade down for Kevin King instead of drafting T.J. Watt.
That's hilarious.
Listen, I can say this for every draft.
You could.
Same.
Yeah, we
But the
could.
Packers literally said T.J. Watt's our guy, and then they trade down for Kevin King.
Listen, the Eagles could have DK Metcalf and Justin Jefferson, but
No, I
instead we
know.
have JJ Arcega-Whiteside and Jalen Rager.
No, I know. So you could say this to
There
anyone.
aren't
But the
many
fact
worse
that they
stories.
literally said T.J. Watt is our guy, he's from
Yeah.
Wisconsin, it would have made sense.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah, I mean, it's his award. Anytime you tie an all-time record like that, or even are in the conversation, you're getting that award.
Yeah. Now the next record, Offensive Player of the Year, that was 100% deserved.
Yeah.
We all knew it was Cooper Kupp because
Since, like, week 10, we knew.
the Offensive Player of the Year award. It's not a quarterback award. That
Correct.
award is a skill player. of the
It's
year.
the best player that's not a quarterback on offense, basically,
Yes.
almost every year.
Yeah, and
Did
this
Jonathan
year,
Taylor get any votes?
so the voting went down. Cooper Kupp 35, Jonathan Taylor 10, Tom Brady 3, Aaron Rodgers 2.
Nobody's more
That's
consistent
weird.
than Cup.
That is very weird.
Nobody was more consistent than Cup.
Yeah.
No, what's weird about it is if they threw Brady and Rodgers into this, that Brady got more votes, yet Rodgers got so many more votes for MVP than Brady.
Because they refuse to give the MVP the Offensive Player of the Year for whatever reason. I don't disagree with it because it would kind of be dumb if just the
to
MVP
be-
got the award
The
every
quarterback
time.
is the most important position, so I mean, I guess it kind of.
Right, so
makes
quarterback,
sense.
like MVP is a quarterback's award.
We knew that. Right?
So that's basically why
When's
there
the
is an
last
Offensive
time
Player of the Year.
I think it was AP in 2012. I think that was the last time that.
I know that Sean
non-quarterback.
Alexander had it. Ever since
Adrian
the
Peterson got
2000,
it in 2012.
ever
yes.
since the turn of the century, it's been a QB award.
Especially when it's a passing game now.
Yeah.
Every
Now-
offense runs through the air.
I guess. Did you want to talk about Cooper Kupp or the MVP?
Yeah, I mean,
now?
Cooper
'Cause
Kupp had an incredible season.
Most targets,
Yeah, he
most
had the
catches,
Triple
most
Crown.
yards,
Yeah.
most touchdowns.
Yeah,
He was 18 yards away from beating Calvin Johnson's record.
Yeah, he also was like 330 yards ahead of the second most receiving yards. I don't even know who it was, but
I want to say Justin Jefferson.
No.
he's up there. Yeah,
Oh, you're talking about this season?
this
Yeah.
year,
Oh, it was Justin
300
Jefferson.
yards above second place.
Jefferson
yeah.
had 1,500, and Devontae Adams had it was like 50 under Justin Jefferson.
Yeah,
Oh, it's so terrible.
After that, wasn't it?
And then Jamar Chase was right up. No, I think Debo, and then it was Jamar Chase. I believe it was Debo, then Jamar
I'm
Chase.
surprised Debo didn't get any votes for this. And
Yeah.
and that's
I
my one
am
thing.
shocked about that. Debo should have gotten.
Debo should have got votes over both
And
those
Taylor,
quarterbacks.
I'm sorry,
I
but
agree.
people saying that Taylor was the best running back this year. He's only the best running back because Derrick Henry got injured. halfway
Thank
through the year.
you.
it also helps to be the best running back when you play behind the best offensive line.
That too.
Yes.
Yes.
I think running back is a plug and play position in the NFL. I don't think.
Yes, and no.
Think about all the guys that are studs that end up not really panning out 5 years down the line. It's not a long-term position.
I mean,
why
Invest in
Derrick-
your offensive
Dalvin
line before
Cook
you
has
invest
been-
in a running back.
Dalvin Cook has been consistent, and their line is not.
That's why Derrick Henry's the best back in the league, baby.
Well, their offensive line has also been improving every year that he's been in the league, and I think the Vikings' offensive line could be very good next year.
And he also keeps getting hurt.
Dalvin
so-
Cook, he is very. Injured.
So
Yeah.
then you think about McCaffrey, right? He can't stay healthy. Saquon Barkley, that offensive line's
See,
garbage.
that's the
He's
thing.
useless.
McCaffrey's been healthy. Was healthy for the first 2 years, and then after that,
The Eagles led the league in rushing, and they didn't have any running back that was top 25 in the league.
Because I thought like Sirianni hated Miles Sanders.
No,
Well,
he does.
Miles Sanders didn't have a single touchdown all year. So whoever's calling the plays hates Miles Sanders because we were down inside the 2 plenty of times. Jalen Hurts has 10
And
rushing
here,
touchdowns.
give the ball to Boston Scott.
Yeah, Boston Scott.
Jordan Howard.
Yeah, or even Gainwell had
Yeah.
touchdowns. He's
But,
like a
okay,
fourth
now
string.
for this last.
Actually, Gainwell, I think he propelled himself up to the starting position.
No, not for the Eagles. Gainwell started
like
when
Gainwell.
Miles Sanders was
Yeah,
hurt
when-
and Boston Scott
When
wasn't
Miles
playing.
Sanders is hurt, and you would think Gainwell will get the carries and yards, they don't do it. They
Miles
don't like.
Sanders-
They don't like their starting running back.
Miles Sanders is starting running back.
They don't.
Miles Sanders is starting running back who hurt his pinky and then misses 2 games.
So moving on to the MVP award.
All right.
Aaron Rodgers, before Zara gets all giddy over
No,
there.
I want to talk about his 4 MVPs comparing his seasons because I don't agree with.
my gosh.
Okay, so before we get to that, I'm going to get to the voting. 39 went to Aaron Rodgers, 10 went to Brady, and the one Chicago writer voted Cooper Kupp.
The one Chicago guy.
That's well, he didn't want Rodgers.
He won Rodgers.
Yeah.
He literally said it's Rodgers, but I don't like Rodgers, so no, I'm not voting Rodgers. That's literally what he
I think the
said.
Chicago connection to Cooper Kupp. I was confused.
No,
for a
but
second.
like that's literally what he said, and I'm like, how is this guy even a voter?
I'm just,
He's gonna be
I'm
completely
just,
biased.
I'm just assuming it was Cooper Kupp. It probably was Brady, but
we'll
have
go with Cooper Kupp.
We'll have fun here. Go Cooper Kupp. Anyway, go talk Packers.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
All right, I'm on my phone.
Okay. Well,
It's a joke. Go ahead.
but
Sorry.
I do
with
have to say, we only have 10 minutes to talk Super Bowl, so make this
that's okay.
quick.
With Rodgers getting his 4th MVP, it now brings the Packers to the most MVPs in the league. The Colts had 9. The Packers now have 10. Favre had 3. Rodgers has 4. Paul Hornick had 1, and then Jim Taylor had 1.
Is there anyone this year that really rivaled him? I think he deserved the award.
I do too.
9.3 touchdown to interception ratio is pretty
And-
unheard
I
of.
know.
That is also what I
I
want to talk
agree.
about.
Yeah.
He
Rodgers deserved it.
Yeah.
It was a race between him and Brady towards the last
and
month
then
of the year.
after that Saints game, Rodgers won it. After the Saints game for Brady, Rodgers won it. Now, what's very interesting is Rodgers is known for not turning the ball over.
Right.
He had 4 interceptions this year, and they were all in like the first 5 weeks. I'm pretty sure they were all in the first 5 weeks.
Yeah.
3 were in week 1.
2 were in week 1.
Oh, that was 3. Okay, 2
It was
were.
two.
Also,
2 were in week 1. 1 was against the Bengals, and then I think 1 was against the Lions.
what was I gonna, I had a thought, but oh yeah. So MVP, or the way I look at it, is it's literally the most valuable player. So what would your team look like without this player?
Oh, we've seen it. A loss to the Chiefs, who a bad Chiefs team at that time, 13-6.
Right. So you remove Rodgers. I don't even think the Packers make the playoffs this year.
We'll find out next year.
Yeah, we will. Find
Okay,
out
but like I
next year.
said, so his 4 MVPs. 2011, he was 45 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and 4,643 yards, and 122 passing rating. That is actually an NFL record, apparently.
It is.
Yes.
It keeps getting reset every year. Like it's gonna get set
It
again.
keeps getting reset by him.
I know Russell Wilson had it for a little bit.
No. Because he said this in 2011. So Russell Wilson never had it because he got in the league in 2012.
Oh shit.
Rodgers at 2014. This was the year he won it over J.J. Watt. 38 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 4,381 yards, and 112 passing rating. 2020, it's a Packers record, 48 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 4,299 yards, and 121.5 pass rating.
And what do you do with that?
And then this year, 37 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 4,000.
Wait, how many picks was the first year?
6. That was 2011.
So 6, 5, 5, 4.
Yes.
So in those 4 years, he threw 20, and Matt Stafford this year alone threw 17.
And
Hey, Matt Stafford's in a Super Bowl.
and
Aaron Rodgers
Zach
didn't make it in a
said
single one of them.
Stafford should have had an MVP vote.
I think he should have had one.
Stafford's also on a super team.
Yes. And okay, now
Matt
the thing,
Stafford. Never mind.
but
Leave
yeah,
him alone.
so this brings Rodgers now to. He also got. I think he tied a Super Bowl. Not a Super Bowl. He doesn't tie Super Bowl records. I
We
think
know
this-
that one.
Yes, I think he tied the record. Consecutive back-to-back MVPs with Brett Favre, and there's 2 other players. I think. I don't know the names. I just know Brett Favre is one of them.
Okay.
But yes, Rodgers deserved this.
What do you do with this award?
Wait, he lose?
Oh wait, he went to Denver.
Right.
Or no, he bought a house in Tennessee.
The Titans aren't even pursuing
Mike
him.
Vrabel,
The Titans aren't even pursuing him. They said,
Coach of the Year and the MVP together.
but they literally said they're not pursuing him. All right, now we have 9 minutes to talk about the Super Bowl.
So Rams.
Nathaniel Hackett.
So yes, the game is in LA, but the Rams are traveling to the Bengals.
Back-to-back home Super Bowls.
Technically,
I blame COVID for this.
did you see Roger Goodell made a statement?
What did he say?
Actually, it wasn't Roger Goodell. It was like a prank account. Never mind. You know what? We're just
The
gonna
prank account, then just tell me after.
9 minutes to talk about the game, and you want to talk about a Roger Goodell prank account. It's crazy. Got
All
some
right.
numbers to spit at you.
Now,
spit the map.
this is the Super Bowl. This is the Super Bowl that everyone was okay with, like in the championship games that everyone was okay with.
Yes.
I was okay with this from the start of the playoffs. Yeah,
No.
because I knew the Eagles weren't getting in.
I wanted the Bengals
Listen,
100%.
I wanted
but I
the
did
Eagles
obviously not
Steelers
want the
Super
Rams.
Bowl. I just wanted to see PA burn.
No one wanted that. No one wanted that.
CPA burn.
PA would burn if the Eagles won the Super Bowl. You don't need both teams to be in it.
Well, no, I mean I'm still here, so obviously 2017 worked out fine.
You weren't here. That was my freshman year. You didn't go here yet.
Well, yeah, no, but like I was able to like get recruited.
Okay, yeah,
and
you're right.
stuff
You're right.
out
Okay,
here.
but anyway, so Bengals. First of all, I'm rooting for the Bengals. I obviously showed up in the shiesty shades. I got the crew neck on.
Yeah.
You know. But I do think the Rams win this game.
Oh,
And it's
Why do
based
you
off
say that?
this number. Bengals have allowed 55 sacks this year.
Yep.
yes.
Third most
Joe
in the
Burrow.
league.
No, it's the.
Yeah.
No, there's
most
2
in the
others.
league.
The Bears have allowed more,
The Ravens.
Wait.
and the Ravens have allowed more.
Ravens line sucks.
When I was doing my research for my article, literally it said Joe Burrow was the most sacked quarterback in the
Both
league.
remember the Bears have 2.
Multiple quarterbacks.
Bears and Ravens both have multiple quarterbacks playing this season.
So-
Shaking my head.
It's okay. It's still technically he is the most sacked.
He's the most
quarterback.
sacked quarterback.
Okay,
Your
then I'm
stat-
good.
no, your
still.
stat's correct.
My stat
Just-
is correct.
Your stats correct, but there's an asterisk next to it.
But so as a team, I'm talking O line only. The Bengals O line struggles, and who's playing defensive line? The team with the 3rd most sacks in the league, who just added a former MVP defensive lineman, Super
And
Bowl
foremost,
MVP defense,
yep, Super Bowl MVP.
and then Aaron Donald and Von Miller. Not to mention you have Leonard Floyd, who no one talks about.
That's because it's Leonard Floyd.
He's a sack machine, and I would love to have him playing opposite of Von Miller. I think the biggest thing in this game will be chunk plays, right? So the Rams are first on chunk plays, 40-plus yards or more. They're first. The Bengals are second in chunk plays. How do you get chunk plays?
You protect.
Time in the pocket. He will have none.
See-
I think it's going to be, honestly, hard to watch.
I think the Bengals thrive when it comes to them being the underdogs because look at this. Everyone wrote them out of the Titans game. Wait, what was the first game they played? It was the Raiders.
It was
game.
the
Everyone had the
Raiders.
Bengals for that. But everyone wrote them out of the Titans game. Everyone said, well, this was fun while it lasted. The Chiefs are now going their another Super Bowl. They don't care what people think.
But what did all three
but
of
I
those
also-
teams lack? A pass rush.
I-
Notoriously,
what are you talking about?
the-
9 sacks on the Bengals, the Titans,
Exactly, and what
and they still won.
But the Titans don't have the offense, right? If you're getting 9 sacks as a team and losing,
No,
that is an offensive problem.
I mean,
and
I
the
agree with
Rams
you
do
there.
not have an offensive problem.
No, I agree with you there, and I know that this Rams pass rush is going to be a problem because we obviously know Aaron Donald is arguably the best defender in NFL
Right,
history.
and I'm saying so. They on paper, the Titans don't have a pass rush. Get 7 or 9 sacks, right? Look, I seriously think the Rams could break a Super Bowl record for sacks. They're
That
gonna
is possible, but
they're
I
gonna
also
force some
think-
turnovers. Like the Bengals are gonna have to break some tendencies to win this game.
Like I said, I do think the Rams are favored here because of their defense, but I also know we also know how high powered this Bengals offense is.
Yeah,
Joe
yeah.
Mixon, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. I know C.J. Uzomah, she should be okay for the Super Bowl.
But you got to match that and look at how high-powered this Rams
Tyler
defense
Boyd.
is.
No, I know that, but it's a high-powered offense versus a high-powered defense.
But then,
And then you have a high-powered offense on
what
the other
about
side.
the not
But
so
the-
high-powered
The
defense? on
Bengals defense
side?
isn't that bad. If you really, the pass rush is
That's a
pretty
good. I will say it's a
Trey
good
Hendrickson-
defense. I'll give them
Trey
that.
Hendrickson and Sam Hubbard. I think it. Yes,
They're a good pass rushing
very
duo.
Good pass rush duo. They made Patrick Mahomes run all over the field, and we saw it.
Also, the least sack quarterback in the league is Matthew Stafford, and you have the Offensive Player of the Year playing opposite of a rejuvenated OBJ. I think it can get ugly. Honestly, I really do.
That's okay. Stafford chokes.
Yeah, I listen. I'm rooting for the Bengals, but the numbers are pointing towards the Rams hard, and the Rams have been to one recently. You have McVay's learned from his mistakes.
He's not facing Belichick.
Right. He's facing Zach Taylor.
And
And
I think we're all forgetting Jamar Chase. He's not going against Tre'Davious Ward or whoever the hell the Titans threw out there.
He's going against Mr. Jalen.
He's going against the best corner in the
Ramsey.
league. Locked down. The new
Arguably.
Not playing against the Raiders second.
Not arguable.
Arguably.
Oh God, you put that in your article too, didn't you?
she did.
Well, Ariel kind of changed the word.
Oh my God.
Also, I promise you, Jalen Ramsey is the most ignorant corner Jamar Chase is going to see all year.
Now,
Jamar Chase is a
regardless-
rookie. He's not going to hear chatter like he will
okay,
this weekend.
regardless of Jamar Chase being guarded by Jalen Ramsey, okay, then they have T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd.
Okay, so they have Darius Williams, and they have
You think Darius Williams wins in a matchup over T. Higgins?
I think Joe Burrow
Yes.
won't even be able to throw the ball. I really think it's
Why do
going to
you-
be a disaster.
Guess we'll see.
Yeah, that's why we play the game, right? It's exciting.
that's why we play the game. And I guess
But
it is that
if you
time.
wanna-
You guys did the work for me, so thank you. So it is that time.
Wait, hold on.
I got to sit back and not say anything.
But if
Listen,
you,
this was awesome.
But if you
So-
do wanna, if you do want to read more about it, like I did write an article about this role in the Beacon for this week, so check that out.
It was a very good article. Good job,
It
Zara.
was a good article.
was a
Other
very
than the
good
fact that you
article.
said Jalen Ramsey wasn't the best corner in the league. it
I
was a
said
really good
one
article.
of them.
It's the.
It's not one of. It's the. Anyway,
Let's give our
Super Bowl
predictions.
predictions. We're starting with Pat, going down the row.
I'm going to say 31-17 Rams.
Okay.
I'm gonna look right into the camera and say it. I'm gonna look right to you. I'm gonna give you the right prediction. So put your sport bet money up now. I'm gonna tell you right now.
I don't know. The last time we did it.
34-17. Matthew Stafford lifts his first Lombardi up in SoFi Stadium as they open up the brand new field to the Super Bowl playing field, and LA burns, and Cincinnati burns in proxy.
LA doesn't
They
care.
don't. They don't care at all, which is why
I
it's
thought,
so
you were about, I
hilarious.
thought you were about to give the Simpsons prediction 34-31.
I was thinking about
That
it,
is
but no, I like
definitely
17.
Photoshop.
Which is
That is
That-
100% Photoshop.
No.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
That was the
I'm-
Dolphins.
I've spent
That
the last
literally
3
was
days
the
looking for it.
Dolphins.
I spent 3 days looking for that episode. It is not there.
It is literally the Dolphins in that picture.
I don't know.
It is
It
not there,
literally
bro.
is. They-
The episode's not there, bro.
All I'm saying is that the Simpsons are geniuses.
we
They
know-
are. They
we,
are.
We
They
could
are.
agree with that. But that picture was Photoshop, and I can confidently
It's not
say
there.
that.
I've spent the last 3 days looking for it. I'm behind on all my work for it.
Okay, I think this game goes to overtime.
Little prop bet for you.
Brady is the only QB that will ever go to overtime in Super Bowl history. Stop this madness.
Until Zach Wilson gets there. Just kidding.
Yeah,
kidding.
maybe he has like a third string.
Yeah. When he's 38.
If
Okay,
he's still in the league.
Alright.
If
Yeah.
he's still involved.
Bengals,
Backing up the London franchise.
Bengals are winning this. Score of 24-21.
Wow, it's low.
That's low.
Well, yeah, but
Well-
it's also going overtime, so 24-21.
Well, here's my prediction.
Evan
For-
McPherson's going to win them the Super Bowl.
He's not that. He's actually.
What do you mean? Hold on a second. No, hold on. Evan McPherson is 2 field goals away from tying Adam Vinatieri's playoff record of 14 field goals. And he is obviously 3 away from beating it, and he could get that in the Super Bowl.
He's not going to do field goals in the Super Bowl.
Says who?
So Zach.
So Zach.
Zach hates the Bengals.
I do hate the Bengals.
So my prediction, and for the last 2 weeks, whenever anyone has asked me who do you have winning the Super Bowl, I have just simply said, tune in, and you'll find out. I have been saying that. So
co-host and you won't even tell us.
yeah,
We do this with you. You
To
won't
be
even tell
honest,
us.
I've never asked Martel this question.
So no, this deserves a special moment. So
There it is.
Martel, who do you think I winning?
So who do I think is winning? I've been going back and forth every day, and yes, I turned into the fact that O-line versus that D-line is special. Jalen Ramsey versus Jamar Chase. But then again, there's second half Joe Burrow. The defense stops the offense. And we already saw in the divisional round, the Rams just completely shut down until they had to score a field goal at the end. This is going to be low scoring, though. I 100% think this is going to be low scoring. I think the Rams are going to come out to an early lead. They're going to have a double-digit lead going into halftime. Bengals are going to make it close. But I think at the end, the Rams are going to hold on. Going 19-17 Rams.
So you guys all have Rams, and then I'm only with the Bengals.
Yeah.
All right.
1917 Rams. Jalen Ramsey, my boy. Wearing your jersey Sunday.
Ow.
Sorry about that.
Sorry for anyone in their
I'm
car.
sorry. I love when past Jaguars win Super Bowls on different teams.
That's because they didn't win it on the Jaguars.
I'm going to start
So-
the outro. And
Do the Rams cover 4?
no.
Okay.
Now, the
Yeah, no.
one last thing before we end the show. Over under 2 minutes, 5 seconds. National anthem. What do we got?
We got the under, baby.
Who's even singing it?
No clue.
I'll say over then. I don't know.
Under.
I'm going over. And this has been the Letterman here on 90.7 WCLH. Of course, tune in next Monday when we recap the Super Bowl, recap UFC 71, and a special guest. My brother is coming on for the full 2 hours.
Really?
We'll see you then. This has been the Letterman on 90.7 WCLH. Keep it locked.